I can't with you. That was wild.
Marv, are we live?
We're about to.
All right, good thing I didn't say that live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to That One Piece Talk. My name is Larry.
Lawrence.
Lionel.
Sam.
And this is That One Piece Talk, where we talk One Piece. Woo! Episode 98, guys. Oh my God, we are 2 episodes away from episode 100. I don't even know what I'm gonna say during episode 100. Lionel's been here forever, and it's like I just don't know. But as you all can see, this is truly not Lionel. This guy has appeared in many collabs with many different content creators. He's known for his content regarding JoJo Bizarre Adventures with a video that sits at 118,000 views.
Hey.
Recently, he started to put up videos on his TikTok, which he's gaining momentum, and he promises to have a Discord up and running once he hits 3,000 subs on YouTube. Please welcome everybody, Kev D OG. Welcome, my guy. How are you?
I'm chilling right now. I can't believe that I'm actually in the That One Piece Talk studio.
How's it feel, bro?
It's kind of wild.
How's it feel to meet Marv?
It is pretty wild.
It's like a guy. He's always behind the. You just never see
he's
him.
like the lurking legend, right?
He's
there.
like Panda Man.
Oh.
Yeah, he's like Panda Man.
I wonder if Marv has actually met Panda Man yet.
He's probably seen him. Was just like, I don't know. I just thought that was random background character.
He's unfamiliar right now.
Yeah.
Oh, he's shook, right?
Yeah.
You'll see.
He's a legend, Marv. He's like Buggy, but better. But yes, thank you, man, for joining us here. It's truly an honor to have you, bro.
Well, that means a lot too. I mean, being in the community and being able to talk the greatness that is One Piece and seeing all the people in the chat, much love to all you guys and Buggy Gang and all that.
Hey.
But,
Oh my God, don't get them started,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
We're gonna hear like non-stop super chats now. But yeah, man, thank you. Guys, for the agenda today that we have going on, it's literally no One Piece chapter 1082 discussion. The reason why, the chapter came out literally 2 weeks earlier than it was supposed to. So currently right now, it's not out legally. So we will not speak on the chapter on this show. Even though you've seen me talk about it with Chestnut during our chapter review, and you also seen DDT. Did you guys talk about it during the DDT?
No, it was muted up.
Yeah. So listen, we're gonna do mainly calls today, but when you call up, it can't be chapter 1082 related. Just be aware, please. Let's just follow, legal standards. But anyway, let's say what's up to the chat and read off some super chats.
Yeah, we got a bunch of people sitting here. What's up, Matt MGK, Zuko Bane, Thomas Crew, Soga King, The Broker, so many people here. Terrible TJ, Twilight Straw Hat, Patrick Flannery, Firearms, Lou Boo, Kill You. I love that name.
Lou Boo.
Straw Hat T, Demolition God, so many. Void, shout out to Void, man. Red Haired Shanked Them, 3-Day, Axe D, Charlotte, Sword Egg, Nappy239, Yonko Gaming, just so many people here. Black Jesus, Fourth Base, I Hate Mo, Hussein, just so Peanut Butter and Waivers. Love to see the familiar faces. IAL, 𝐓𝐴, 𝐓𝐴, don't go no more Nick games, man, for real. James Hudson, Rezzy, Simon Destin, Eli Vance. I can't, Ryunosuke, so many people here. I can't read all the names, but we appreciate y'all being here with us.
There's someone at the top before Matt MGK. I noticed that that thing always blocks it, so you're not able to see the first one. It's called Miracle Banks.
That's his name?
Yeah.
Did you want to shout him out?
No, I'm just saying because I noticed.
Say hi. Say hi to him.
Hi, Miracle Banks. I can't. That's because I noticed.
You could have easily been like, hey, and then Miracle Banks.
No, I'm trying to address
He was like, yo, you missed this whole person.
No.
Because the bar's in there.
Yo, because it blocks the first person. That's why I noticed that.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to let Sebastian know.
Yo, good catch, Lawrence.
I'm trying to be helpful.
I'm doing the best I can.
I'm trying to be helpful.
I'm doing the best I can.
You're making it all
nice and deep like. Let's get to super chats.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to him now. My bad. Just a whole lot.
Are you doing another poll for no reason?
No.
All right. He just does polls now.
I'm not doing polls.
He's the poll maker.
For no reason.
He dances on them and makes it.
There's another way for me to look at the super chats so I don't lose any of them.
Oh, my bad.
I was opening that up.
My bad, yo.
All right?
My bad.
I'm not pole dancing over here. Anyway, we did get a $5 super chat from Patrick Flannery, but it was deleted by a mod, so I'm assuming there was either a spoiler or something in there that we weren't allowed to see. So, Patrick, sorry, but we appreciate the donation, man, for real.
Yo, Patrick, ask us another question and at one of the mods. That way your super chat's not, like, voided.
Yeah.
Because I don't like that, so.
Yeah. We did get another £5 from Thomas Crew. It says, new to this wonderful community, and I'm loving every minute of it. Much love and respect. Keep up the great work, guys. Thank you so much, Thomas.
Yeah, thank you, Lawrence.
What? Thank you, John.
Yo, you made a sacrifice. You weren't on last episode, so I'm saying thank you. Yeah, because we didn't have enough room.
Yeah.
That's part of making great content. He allowed G and Par to come through.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sharing
I don't
love.
know that Thomas was referring to that, but
I mean, that's part of it, isn't it,
Yeah,
Kev?
now, like, no, I'm Lionel.
Yeah. I gotta thank Lionel.
you should have thanked Lionel too, bro.
Thank you, Lionel.
All right, but thank you so much, Thomas. We got another £50 from our guy, the broker. It says, hi, guys.
Your more was a little loud.
Just wanted to say hi before I stay up late to tune in and attempt to call in yet again. You guys are doing so much for the community, and you deserve all the success in the world. Hoping to get through and give you my best Ryuma theory. Broker always got theories for days, but thank you so much, Broker.
Broker, you're gonna make Lawrence cry. That was
already
a
started,
sweet message. It was a sweet message. You can't see it, but like he's pushing back his tears into his eyeballs.
I'm about to start wiping my eyes in a minute.
This is why Lawrence wears the shades, so y'all can't see him crying. But thank you so much. We got another $5 super chat from our guy James Hudson, aka Pig. It says, "Let's go! Hashtag Larry has bad takes. Hashtag Lionel isn't real." What do you mean?
Lionel's right
Lionel's
next
right
to me.
here.
I just turned into Michael Jackson.
Hashtag Sims for Seb. Thank you so much, James. And I believe you put 20 gifted memberships to
my
that
God.
One Piece Talk in the YouTube chat. So thank you so much, Fig, for all that you do for us.
James, now that I know that you work so hard, I feel worse. But thank you. Thank you for the subs.
Yes, everybody, W's in the
Yeah,
YouTube
can we get
chat
W's for the chat for Pig?
for Pig. And if you guys are accepting that membership, please enjoy all the emojis that come with that membership.
And if you dodged it, I don't know how. So, thank you.
Oh, man. We got $2 from Ryunosuke twice, actually. It says, see, you had to save money to only use one CGI twin. Hashtag Buggy Gang for the OG.
Hey.
Hey, man. All right. Thank you, Ryunosuke. And we got another $5 super chat from Terrence Matthews. It says, I just need to see Luffy grab Kizaru in the middle of him traveling in light form and take him somewhere else.
That would be great.
That would be wild. That would be
actually
wild.
pretty great. He did it with lightning.
Listen, there's no limit to what Luffy can do, man.
At this
honestly.
point.
Yeah. All right, we got another $10 from Project Iceman. It says, hey guys, glad to catch you guys again. So when are we getting merch of the battle-worn Larry being carried on the shoulders by Marco and Buggy? Hashtag make it happen.
So, I didn't. I know I announced it in our Discord, but for those that haven't heard it, we are hiring a social media video editor now, and that's gonna free up a lot of my time to do a lot of different things with the podcast. So once that person does get put into place, there's gonna be so much of merch and all these other things coming out from us. So video editing unfortunately takes a lot of time out of my day and a lot of life out of my life. So with this free up, you're gonna see probably some shirts like that with some artists that are gonna have kind of like their own line of merch with us. And I know you don't necessarily know what that means right now, but once you see it, you're gonna be like, this is absolutely cool as hell. So just I got ideas. So yeah.
Never stop having ideas, bro.
I don't.
No limit to what you can imagine.
Imagine. All right, but thank you so much, Project. We have another $2 super chat from Eli Vance. It says, first time on stream, Oda loves Buggy. We should too. Thank you, Eli. I know I love Buggy. There's somebody up here who doesn't.
Yeah, right there, right?
I've become more of a fan.
Okay.
I have not.
I've become more of a fan. I
forgot Lawrence doesn't actually mess with Buggy either.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like I don't respect him, but I like it. I like him a lot more than I did before.
All right, we got another 31 Australian dollars from Shandi Wandi. It says, "Yo, what's up, Nakama? Hope everyone." Well, last time I was on live, y'all were under 5K. Keep killing it, lads. Best One Piece talk podcast out there. Hashtag Buggy Gang. Thank you so much, Shandi. I know it's been a pretty
You started it. Because you said it. Now it's happening nonstop.
I mean, I preach agendas from time to time. Luckily, I just put the stocks in what I believe in. I believe in Buggy Gang. So,
well,
shout
it's
out
better
to
than
Buggy Gang.
believing in Mihawk.
Listen,
How is that better?
Kev, I love you to death, bro. But your worst take gotta be Lucci over there.
Hold on. We'll get into
We're
that.
getting to that? All right, my fault.
Actually, we have breaking news for that as well.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Okay.
Because I'm going to give Kev his shine before we take calls.
All right. We got another $5 super chat from Patrick Flannery. It says, no worries, boys. All I said earlier was that Blackbeard was shocked that Beppo went Sulong, which proves he has no future sight. Hashtag fraud.
Ooh.
See, if I say something, they're going to be like, yo, Larry never knows what he's talking about. So I'm going to just leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that.
All right. Appreciate
But he right. But he right.
Listen, man. All right, we got another $100 super chat from our guy, Celestial Donkey. Simply said, hashtag Buggy Gang. So, appreciate you, CD. W's in the chat for our guy, CD.
Massive W.
Oh, my God.
Can we get W's in the chat for CD? One, CD, another guy that I know works super hard. So, thank you for every dollar you ever give us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Super appreciate it.
Super appreciated. We got another $5 from Red-Haired Shanked. It says, Lawrence messed up that shadow clone jutsu you passed this time.
No, I'm trying something new, like an incognito shadow clone, you know?
Oh, man.
Lawrence is like, I'm trying to gain privilege.
That's why. What is that place called? Village of the Rain or whatever?
Yeah, I saw a meme recently. It said that the 𝗏𝐽𝐶 had no hidden cloud members.
They did it.
Cloud, hidden cloud.
Yeah, they did cloud members.
I wonder why that is.
I can't die.
But they got the bone.
Oh man, bro, the privilege no jutsu was crazy. Yo,
Oh my god.
that's all Larry, bro. I didn't say that.
Yeah, my bad. My bad, Kev.
Larry can say that. He mixed, bro.
Oh man.
No.
Kev actually looks like my mom a little bit. Not gonna front. She has everything you have, bro.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Oh man.
We got another $10 super chat from our guy Pig. It says, don't feel bad, Larry. I only spend my money on the worthy. And with all the good you and this pod do for the community, y'all are more than worthy. Much love. Hashtag Buggy Gang. Hashtag everyone cosplays for episode 100.
Ooh.
Damn. There's so much good in that message. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, man.
The cosplay idea is kind of fire.
It is. It's going to take a lot of work. So I'm going to try to make it happen for sure. I just got to try.
Listen, I could do a simple Chopper cosplay, bro. Just come in shirtless, wear the hat.
I don't know if people want to
bag.
see you shirtless.
Book
bro.
bag, you feel me? No?
But what about Chakras definitely like has a bunch of fur. How you gonna?
I'm black, bro.
Not the color. I'm talking about
I'll be
the
okay,
hair.
bro.
The hair. Okay.
We got another 17 crowns, I think, from Void. It says, "Oh my God, already at 30K." Yeah, man, it's been a wild ride. Void's been here a long time, so shout out to Void.
Oh yeah, I forgot we hit 30K, Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Congrats, boys.
yeah,
Fellas.
it's looking like 100K before the end of the year.
Yeah. Kev hit me up
You're
on
lying,
Discord and
though.
said, hit me up and said, yo, 30K before May, and he was right. So shout out to Kev, man.
Yeah.
I manifest.
Manifesting it.
Yeah,
Man.
100K before the end of the year.
Let's do it. And then finally, we got another $2 from our guy Monkey D. Shin, who I believe was the MVP of the DDT this week. So shout out to Shin. It says,
I
no.
hope he got his shirt on when he wrote this.
He
He
got
has a
that
shirt
robe. Yo,
on.
he wears a robe.
He could put
and
the
just
shirt.
open-
Yeah, no, I saw.
And just all taco meat, bro.
Oh yeah, the hair.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're a Kid fan.
Speaking of kid, his super chat says, "No kid slander today. Keep it clean and above the belt." I can't promise that.
Kid slander. I don't know. Kid slander. That's kind of like a running thing on this podcast. So
Bro, he couldn't even keep it above water.
You know, there are some people. Let's talk about Kid really quick. So there are some people who say Kid has a member on his crew named Dive, right? And each of Kid's crew members kind of like rock music themed, and they're very like on the nose. Like, oh, Killer's gonna kill someone. Heat has heat powers. Wire has wire powers. So Dive is gonna dive down and save Kid. You know, he's not gonna die.
Damn,
That's some cope, right?
that's crazy. That's crazy.
That's whatever you gotta do.
Yeah, yeah. Whatever you gotta do to bring him back.
Whatever you gotta do, bro. I guess. We did get another 5 membership donations from our guy Pig Hudson. Thank you
my
so
God.
much,
Hey.
Pig. And then another $5 that says Larry as Buggy, Seb as jinbei, Lawrence as Papagu, Lionel as 𝐴𝐚𝐬. You
that's
know
not
you want to, and Marv can finally reveal himself. And 4 of those might happen.
Yeah, that 𝐴𝐚𝐬 thing, that's not gonna happen. Lionel's not dressing up as.
Yeah, he'd probably dress up like Rayleigh if he could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing he'd dress
That'd
up
be
as.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you could dress up as anybody, Kev, who would it be?
So I did do Buggy, you know, because Buggy's the best character in One Piece. But I did do Buggy.
wow.
And all I gotta say is after I dressed as Buggy, he became a Yonko. So all I gotta say is I put stocks in the right characters, like I said.
Oh my
right?
God.
But thank you so much, Pig. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We got another $5 from 𝗵𝐶. It says, "I think we do need to return of Larry D. Clown. #BuggyCat."
Oh my God.
Yo, that was a huge hit, man. I don't know why you're depriving the
I've
fans of
worn
greatness.
it like 3 times. What makes you think I like doing it?
Because you wore it 3 times?
We could put you back on the Lucci Larry grind.
No.
Listen, Lucci Larry was the best possible one to me.
Okay.
As
Anyway.
the originator of Lucci Larry, I approved of it.
You know, we used to call him Lucci, right?
Really?
Oh my God.
Way back.
All right. Anyway, that's all for the super chats, right?
Yes, that's all the soups.
All right.
And thank you to everybody who joined as a member. It's not showing on my screen right now, but I know we got a couple new memberships outside of the gifted membership. So thank you guys for subscribing and joining.
Yes. Thank you to everybody. But I do want to shine the light a little bit on Kev over here. Recently, one of his videos that he was in went viral, and it was because you had said that Lucci is Admiral level.
And I agree.
Please explain if you still hold that same thought process, or has it changed?
Okay. He's not number 13, but
13 where though? Like all
no, not alive. He's not 13 anymore because Garb clears Lucci. That's not even a question.
Shouldn't have been a
Okay.
question before.
I mean, it wasn't, but I just forgot. I just forgot. So, on the Lucci thing, right? Lucci was getting... You were slandering him too, actually. You were saying he was going to get one shot.
I mean,
He wasn't.
he basically.
He wasn't.
But,
It was like a
yeah.
5 shot.
He got low diff, bro. He got
No, he definitely
troll
got
diff.
he definitely got low diff. He definitely got low diff.
He got troll
Yeah.
diff, bro.
But here's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Lucci, he's one of the best main antagonists in One Piece, right?
Sure.
Serious threat, very imposing. Also, Eni's lobby is peak fiction, right? We can all agree. These are all definitive statements, right?
Yeah.
I'm getting a devilish smirk from
No,
Lawrence.
Well, he's not one of the best antagonists.
No, I'm
but,
saying like
yeah.
of the best arcs. And
Yeah.
he's like a
Yeah,
threat.
yeah,
At the time, he gave Luffy his toughest fight.
He was the
Exactly.
biggest
Exactly.
bad of one of the best arcs in the series.
And he's
Yeah.
the representative of the world government, the biggest bad
Yeah.
in the series.
As
So-
an antagonist himself, I have some pushback.
Oh no,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely.
but
definitely.
you good.
I'm not saying like, am I like entranced in Lucci's character? No, like he's not 𝗍𝗲𝗻𝐴. He's not Big Mom. You know, he's not these like super rich backstory. I'm saying like a backstory.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like they're more fulfilling or whatever.
He doesn't like women.
I don't like Big Mom. There's a difference.
Is that why he doesn't want the 𝗍𝐚𝐬𝐿 cosplay?
Nah, it's just, Lino would never work. Yeah.
Okay. So on to Lucci though. You know, obviously. He's coming back to the story, you know, just like Crocodile, Buggy, Mihawk, all these super old enemies. And I'm thinking, okay, they're back in the story, they're relevant. Oda's not going to just destroy them. They're going to stay relevant, right? And then, ironically enough, on the TikTok, they showed a photo of Kid's funeral, which was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, he got bodied by Shanks, you know. Who isn't going to get bodied by Shanks, realistically?
Kaido, Big Mom, Luffy.
Shanks is top one. Shanks is top one.
I mean,
I know you
they
just-
ain't getting one shot.
They are getting
You
one
know what
shot,
I'm
but you
saying?
go.
But the fact is, where does Lucci stand?
Lucci would-
Because you, like you said,
Lucci is getting turned into a leopard's shish kebab. It's not even close.
But is he still Admiral level?
I still think he is. I'm gonna be honest here, because look at Green Bull's portrayal in Wano. Look at Green Bull's portrayal, guys. Like, all right.
Oh man.
Keep it at 100. I'm not
Please.
a power scaler.
Clearly.
It's just he's a good villain, guys. You don't just kill off a good villain. That's why Big Mom and Kaido are still alive as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I just
Yeah.
don't see any of the admirals like getting treated the way Rob Lucci was.
Not even Green Bull?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fascinating,
Yeah.
actually.
Not even Green Bull. Not. And to me, he's the weakest admiral. Like.
Oh, yeah.
But
like
I
even,
think-
even Green Bull took like a Conqueror's coded attack and was like, "Yo, that hurt, yo."
Yeah.
Lucci was like regular fisting
Oh, yeah.
Luffy. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
No, I get what you're saying. I like these. Yeah, go Kev. Nah, Kev tripping. I'm just, you know, let me be, you know, devil's advocate. I'll hit nah, Kev tripping and see the ball. 86%, guys. 86.
No good 86.
86. Hey, that means 14% of you are, you know,
Listen,
to quote Parvish in the
it's-
mind room.
I'm gonna tell you right now, don't pay attention to chat too much.
No, it's all good.
It's,
It's all good.
it's 13% now.
Oh, it's 13?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because you
Because
voted.
Lucci's number 13. That's exactly why. It's intentional.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nah,
Kev
but-
put Lucci at top 13 in the verse right now.
I did. But anyway, steering away from that conversation as fast as possible. He's cool. He's not that good of a character, but he's cool. You know? And oh my god! And one of the comments was so funny.
What'd they
One of them was
say?
like, "I bet the leopard is his favorite animal," and I'm like, "No, that's why X Drake is my favorite supernova because dinosaurs are the best." See, I'm a simple man.
What's going on?
good with
bro?
you, bro?
No, I'm saying
Dinosaurs?
like, not the best, like my favorite. You know what I mean?
Your
I mean,
favorite
yeah.
animal is
That's
Because it's cool.
as a whole, or like Drake specific, like Allosaurus dinosaur?
No, just dinosaurs in general.
Okay.
That's why all the ancient zones are.
So like Land Before Time is just your bag, like that.
Oh no. Littlefoot had some trauma. You know what I'm saying? That's like saying like, oh, Queen's your favorite ancient Zoan. Like, no way, bro.
I mean,
No way.
as a character, maybe Queen was
He is
pretty cool.
fire. He is fire.
Yeah,
But, like-
you could have liked page 1, bro.
He was cool when he came out, but then he turned to a bum.
He got Conquerors punched by like.
He got bodied by Sanji.
He got bodied by Luffy and Big Mom. We got off screen whatever happened with Sanji situation.
He ate that Sanji stuff, though.
Yeah, whatever happened with Sanji, he was
anime,
still
though. That don't
yeah,
count.
you know what I mean? On panel, only Yonkos took him out.
Yeah.
Low key.
Ulti better.
I agree.
Yeah,
but
okay.
like
I agree.
I can't deny that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you want to put on the table for the people
Put
to
on the
like,
table.
you know, set the record straight?
Okay. Someone just said I look like Robbie Fox from Barstool. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. I don't know how to feel about that.
Have you heard that before?
I don't know.
No, I've never heard that
I
before.
got you, bro. I got you.
I don't even know who he is. I'm gonna be completely honest.
But
Oh my God, hold up.
Hold on.
I got
this
you,
is
bro.
this is
You could- you could-
integral.
yeah, I was
info.
gonna say.
You can talk, bro.
If
Integral
anything,
info. Oh God. Oh my, this is so much worse than Skrillex, bro. That's the one I've heard my whole life. You look like Skrillex. But no, this is awful, bro. This is horrible.
Yo, Robbie gets girls, bro.
Yeah.
He pulls.
I guess.
pulls.
He gets the barstool clout.
I suppose. We got another super chat that says, for Buggy this shit, Kev could def rock the Captain Kuro cosplay.
Oh, let me do that. Hold on. No, let me do that.
I can see that.
I can see that too.
I can see that.
All right. Anything else?
Oh yeah, we got a couple more super chats. We got a 9-month membership subscription to Yonko status from our guy CD. As always,
Oh my God.
hashtag Buggy Gang. That is our highest level of membership on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much, CD.
Yes, thank you.
We got another one from Soga King, $5. It says Lucci is Admiral level. That don't mean Admiral's a bunch of bums.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
This,
if I-
yeah, saying Lucci is at Admiral level isn't to dismiss the Admirals. It's to say Lucci is getting heavily underrated. That's what I'm saying.
I think if you put Lucci at Admiral level, you're heavily underrating what Admiral level
No, there's a
is.
difference. There's like tiers
how
in
I
the
feel.
Admirals. Like, for example, Akainu and Kuzan are clearing Kizaru, Green Bull, Fujitora. Maybe not Fujitora. You know what I mean? There's like levels in the Admirals.
What do you mean
as well.
clearing?
Like, they're
He's
winning.
saying they're
They're
a
just
tier or
winning.
two above, which is fine, right? But to me, and again, it's my own personal opinion. Every one of them clears Lucci.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like
fine.
they're like a full tier or two above where Lucci is.
No, like I'm saying, like that's fine. That's completely fine.
That's
But,
why
like,
he's not
I'm just
level.
no, but I'm saying like he could be. He could be.
Wait, but real quick, I noticed something you said. So you have Fujitora above Kizaru?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Because I think him and Akainu's rivalry will lead to him being stronger. Like, because in the narrative they have more rivalry, so I feel like they'll be strength-wise
Yeah,
comparable.
they got into like one argument.
No, but that basically led to like the whole schism of the thing, the warlord disbandment. You know, a lot of the stuff led from their argument. So I feel like there's got to be more to it. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at power scaling as narrative scaling.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
All right. Anything else?
Oh, that's all we got for now.
All right, guys. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take phone calls. We're gonna go crazy today with them. It's gonna be basically 2.5 hours of them. We're gonna take a sponsorship break, Marv, around 6:30. All right, and then yeah, we'll come back after that and read super chats again. Again, before you guys call in, listen. I know it sucks not to talk about chapter 1082. I know it does. I know it's out. I know that scanlations came out, but it's officially not out yet, so we cannot talk about it, okay? So when you guys call up, make sure none of your questions pertain to the latest chapter. But other than that, thank you for being here, and thank you for calling. Marv, whenever you want, throw up the number.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? This is Larry from That One Piece Talk. Who are you and how are you?
Oh, hi. This is Andrew. This is my third time I'm calling in.
Hey, what's up, Andrew? Thank you for calling, bro.
Yeah, there's no problem. How y'all doing?
Doing all right. Got Kevin in the building, so
Sure.
it's a pretty good episode so far.
Yeah,
So
man.
who's Kevin? That's Lionel.
Yes. That is Lionel. My bad. I forget sometimes.
Yeah, so I was just kind of discussing with people on the Discord. It was just kind of regarding to like the Seraphim, and if there were like other Seraphims like 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 like his devil fruit ability? Because regarding to like Doflamingo and Moria, they would just have their regular paramecium devil fruits. So, but for Ass Crocodile, because for Logias, it's said by Vegapunk that it's much more difficult to make an artificial Logia. So what would you think?
Kev, you want to take it?
I'm trying to think off rip because we still haven't seen Moria, we haven't seen Doflamingo, and we haven't seen Crocodile, right? Those are the three. And no Weevil, unless Weevil's some experiment, Law as well. And no Buggy, of course. No S-Clown yet. You know? That's inevitable though. But I don't know. I'm really excited to see how far Oda goes with the whole Seraphim idea, because that leads to the whole idea of possibly blending devil fruits together in a way, which I think could be really interesting. Like we already saw this with Jinbei and the swim fruit, which I thought was a really cool way to further fisherman karate and all the stuff like that. So I think Oda's definitely going to do some stuff like that. An idea that I had a few months ago was the idea of like, what if there's like a 3-eye tribe sort of character in the story, right? And they're given like a Kizaru sort of ability, like how the pacifista were. It could be some sort of laser ability now, like a laser eye, something like that. And it could be reinterpreted as a different devil fruit down the line. And I feel like that could easily be done with the Seraphim. And maybe the Seraphim originally were some kind of like fusion thing, and now they're like a fusion of a fusion. And it just goes to show one of the big themes of One Piece is like repetition in the world. So I don't know. I think it'd be really interesting, the idea of bringing more Logias into it.
No, go ahead.
Now I was just saying, like, regarding to like 𝗍𝐿, I was just gonna ask you, like, what would you think its devil fruit would be? Because Logias are a lot more difficult to replicate.
Right, and this is something we talked about briefly on the pod before, and then we talked about in the Discord. I believe a lot of the devil fruits or that they're using for them are either going to be whatever they had before or something that mirrors whatever their skill set is. So a crocodile have to think like who has a devil fruit that's similar to sand. And so crocodile's, a lot of his ability allowed him to like dry people out or like suck up stuff. So like to me, the 𝗬𝗲𝗬𝗬𝗲, the rust fruit that we saw rust out of Zoro's sword. I don't know if that was filler or not, because I was anime only.
He's a real guy.
He's a real person, right? Yeah. So I think he's already in the Marines. It's not a Logia. It's a devil fruit they would have access to. I think that would just work the easiest for 𝗍𝐿. As far as the others, I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't be able to use their regular devil fruits the way that Boa and Kuma's were. So I would go with the rust fruit. I don't know about you, Lawrence.
Yeah.
Honestly, for some reason, I kept thinking, I thought of Magellan's ability.
Exactly. That's
the
what
poison.
I was literally going to say
because the poison hook.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. But there's a note here that so far what we've seen, Vegapunk hasn't used any Marines' abilities for them. I know
Kizaru's ability, beams.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, but I'm talking about like, for example, giving them...
With the green blood.
Yeah, giving them with that. I don't know if it takes something, not away, but like, is it... Maybe no Marines volunteered for it, but like the pirates, like I'm gonna take advantage of you, and throwing their power back at you, so to speak.
Right.
So I was thinking, but I would think Magellan's would be, because also he's an Empo down. Not many people are experiencing it in, while capturing pirates. It's mainly just there. So I'm thinking to get his ability out there instead of just an Empo down to attack pirates would be an ideal thing to use. So I thought of Magellan's, but I wonder if that means if he's not going to use any Marines or government affiliates for that. So what pirate would it be? And that's what I'm trying to think. Because you also got to match it to like which pirates they also had in prison that had an ability. Because those are the ones they're going to use.
Right. Larry.
So my first answer was Magellan, because that just goes mad hard.
Yeah.
And also every other devil fruit that we've seen has come from an Impel Down lockup pirate, right?
Right.
He's part of Impel Down. Just makes sense. I'm gonna go differently now. I'm gonna go off the 𝗍𝐿 theory and say he has the hormone.
Now we're cooking.
That would be so perfect.
And now we can go back to him being Luffy's mom.
All right.
There we go. Satisfy the fans. Right, Andrew?
Listen, you know
what?
what?
We do it for the cause.
I'm with it because clearly Oda be trolling with these fan theories. He recently just did it with Aokiji. I could be the burn scar man. If he trolls us with 𝗍𝐿 mom, after he already trolled Power Vision with the Mihawk as a sword with the S, I'm with it. I support it.
Yeah. What about you, Andrew? What do you think?
Yeah, I had a very similar thought because it came down to three. It was, three devil fruit ideas. It was the wax fruit, the venom fruit, and the rust fruit. I think the rust fruit would make more sense in comparison to the other two, because that's a lot more. You're able to really get it from another Marine. Well, like someone like Magellan is from like Impel Down, so it's a little bit more difficult. But those are like the three options I was thinking about.
I'm really curious. Why do you think the wax fruit?
It'll be the perfect troll. I'm straight up. Because 𝗍𝐿 hates Mr. 3 so much. Like
Yeah.
he hates him so much. I think he's worthless. He's the first person that he like got rid of and stuff in the Baroque works.
Yeah, he's dispensed.
If his Seraphim is walking around with the wax ability, I think it would be some justice.
He'd be like, oh no, I'm getting slandered even more by the world government.
Yeah, so I think it would be poetic justice.
Also, sorry to interrupt. Oh no, it's just regarding to like why I say Mr. 3 because he's from Impel Down, and we've seen like some other Seraphims are from got their abilities from Impel Down, and it's Senior Pink as well as Mr. 1.
Rocking that.
I kind of like all the options we gave. Mine was like the regularist. I like the hormone and the wax and poison would be crazy. I don't think Oda would do that. You know what I mean?
The reason why the poison one fits the best is because it imitates the Logia ability and it also keeps the poison factor. And I mean, if you're gonna make a terrifying Seraphim with a terrifying ability, it's clearly Magellan.
That would be so broken,
like
bro.
the pseudo Admiral himself, right? Like the dude is just insane.
Oh yeah, and also we can get like that rematch where like he's like say Luffy is fighting against like as Crocodile and has the venom fruit, and finally Magellan can get a get back from that because he's not gonna fight Magellan ever again.
And you know what makes it even crazier is like Seraphims are already hard to defeat. Like you have to touch them in order to like hurt them unless you're using Conqueror's Coding, which I don't know why Luffy's not using.
Yeah.
Now imagine if somebody tries to attack somebody like that and they have poison covered around them. It's like, bro, the ultimate defense at this point.
Because not only is like you're not hurting them at all, but each time you do try to hurt them, you're getting poisoned. Because like Luffy was able to drop Magellan, so he wasn't hurting him. But this one, you're not gonna be able to hurt at all.
We can't say dropped. Drop sounds.
He took
crazy.
He took two knees.
Yeah.
He fell to both knees.
Can we just say he took knees? Like that's it.
Is that better? Because hold on, I saw Doflamingo get tossed by like Baby 5, right? He was no damage. Magellan got hit, couldn't take the pain, took a knee. 2 knees.
I mean, he had bubble guts.
Hey, you know what? He damn bubble guts.
That's true.
Yeah, you ever try to fight or do anything when your stomach is bubbling?
Yes, unfortunately. Not a good time.
But Andrew, that was such a great question, man. Thank you so much for calling in once again. Hope to hear from you.
No problem. Oh, what?
I hope to hear from you again.
Have a good one.
Oh, yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Have a good one. Later.
They said Magellan went down like Ryan Garcia.
That's a violation.
This guys are so disrespectful.
Yeah, you see the memes with All Might?
Yeah, I saw that one. I said, damn.
Oh, man. Good times. Any more calls, Mark?
Hey, what's going on? This is Larry from that One Piece Talk. Who are you and how are you?
Good evening. It's the broker. How are you?
Hey,
what's up,
early.
Early.
Yes, early. I'm going to stay for the whole thing anyway, but I'm not last, so I'm thrilled.
Yeah. What's your question, broker?
So, well, it's not a question. I'm going to drop you another wonderful theory. So, I don't know how you guys feel about Ryuma in terms of how he is character-wise, but I've always thought he's just this perfect sort of parallel to what Zoro's going to become. And I think the thing I see the most is that I think Ryuma is even more impressive than we already think. We've already heard from all the people of Wano that his most impressive feat was when he killed the dragon. But in chapter 655, we see Zoro do exactly the same thing at Punk Hazard with no difficulty at all. And it's never really spoken about. There was plenty of people, the Straw Hats saw it and they were impressed at the moment, but then after that, no one's really talked about it. I think that Ryuma, when he took down the dragon, actually took down a celestial dragon. And I think they were using one of the ancient weapons, Uranus, which I think is some kind of flying warship. And I think if they were going really thematic, then like the look of it would look sort of like a dragon. And that's why it's also impressive. We know from Wano's oral history that they were invaded at some point by the world government. but it failed, and they didn't go back again, seemingly because they were scared of the samurai, etc. I think it's purely because Ryuma managed to take down a celestial dragon and ancient weapon at the same time. I don't think he completely destroyed it, but I think that it's the same weapon that was used to take out 𝗨𝗨, and that the reason they haven't used it up till now to take out like rogue countries that are against them is because up until Vegapunk being alive, it's been broken and it's only been able to be repaired because of Vegapunk.
That is a very interesting theory.
It is, and I want to pass it to Kev because he has a very interesting theory on what that giant ship is.
Yeah. So you the second you said flying warship, I was like, no way, this is actually happening. So, all right, and you even mentioned the thing being broken, which I think is even crazier. Because, hear me out, Uranus isn't a ship; it's a whale. It's a flying whale. And how perfect would it be if the whale, the most important, like, symbolic animal in One Piece, with Laboon, when they enter the New World, there's all these big whales that are just like Laboon. The whale's trying to destroy the Red Line. How perfect would it be if Uranus, which is more likely than not being used by Emu, like you said, to destroy Lucia, how perfect would it be if it's a whale that's sort of been corrupted by the Celestial Dragons and their imagery, their sort of divine heavenly imagery, in a way to sort of use its power to destroy the people of the sea where normally whales would live, you know? And there's a lot more to it. I'm not going to super spiel because that's going to be like insanely long and I don't want to take up your entire theory because it was really cool. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I loved the Ryuma killing a celestial dragon idea. That was awesome because people got so, butthurt about Zoro and Wano.
And ZKK.
And ZKK. The worst theory in One Piece ever. But I'll say if I speak, you know. But for Zoro, obviously he killed the dragon in Punk Hazard, and then he did it again with King during his fight with King, obviously. So he got the Eastern Dragon, because everyone thought he was going to go Kaido, who didn't have a brain. And he also, fought a normal-looking dragon in Punk Hazard. Then he could do, the Celestial Dragon. It could be all three, and that could be really awesome. And obviously Ryuma in the original draft, it was Monsters, right? Mm-hmm. In Monsters, he destroyed Eastern. No, actually, it was a Western.
It was a Western.
Yeah, Western-looking dragon. And I just think that connection is really interesting. So I really, really like that.
I've always thought that when it was never really impressive what Ryuma did, and there was always probably something else context-wise as to what that dragon actually meant to the story of One Piece or to Romance Dawn overall or to Monster. And to me, I've always felt like the dragon wasn't a normal dragon because we saw Zoro just slay it so easily. So I always thought that it might have been where, when you play telephone, I could tell him applesauce, and by the time it gets to the table around me, it's probably like blueberry, right? And that's usually what happens in history, that stories just tend to get told and then it gets mixed up and we never really know the real truth. So I always felt like the dragon part was definitely true, just how strong the dragon wasn't true. And I always thought like maybe somebody previously had Kaido's devil fruit during that time, and history was once again repeating itself, and that's why Kaido is what he was to the story of One Piece and what he meant to the world and how dangerous he was. And I like the Celestial Dragon idea of a Celestial Dragon having the dragon fruit, because that would just add so much more relevance to what the Celestial Dragons are, and it would make them more of a threat than them just being hierarchies within power. I've always somewhat looked down on the Celestial Dragons, not only for the way they lived their lives, but for just being basically just physically weak. Like, we still don't understand why the Marines still even listen to them, or why they haven't, just created like some type of anarchy within their own system to take them out. We know how dangerous they are, right? But it's always come down to, well, the world has to be governed to some degree. And even if we have anarchy, we never know who we're going to put in charge of the world is going to make it better than the last regime. So it's like maybe at one point the world government during that time was the Celestial Dragons were strong. Like, they were people to actually be feared. Like, these are the same 20 kingdoms of people that toppled the greatest kingdom in the world. So it's like at one point they were strong. It's like that saying, war makes hard men make easy times make soft men, and then it's like in a circle. So I think they're at that time and point of their history that they're just not hard men anymore. So
I'll let you go first, Lawrence.
I was gonna say, it is interesting, like your theory, Celestial Dragons. The only thing I'm gonna say is because when I remember reading in Wanted, right, is that Ryuma, as great as a feat it was, why I don't believe it's a Celestial Dragon, even though it was a dope theory, I think it would actually be more interesting if it was. But Ryuma was fighting a swordsman and a dragon at the same time, right? And the dragon actually served as that swordsman's pet. They used to scheme where the plan was like the dragon would attack a village, and then this hero would come and defeat the dragon, and then they'll walk away with the spoils. But the dragon ended up being that swordsman's pet the entire time. And they tried doing it to this village, and Ryuma happened to be there and put a stop to it, defeating both of them, right? So that being the dragon being its pet, kind of to me takes away from it being a celestial dragon, to me, from what I remember. And to me personally, as great as that feat was, slaying the dragon and that swordsman, what I remember for Ryuma being his great, because at that time he had the title of like king and he was still a wanderer. But to me, his what I understood as his greatest feat was what they kind of said in Wano, is that when he founded Wano, he alone stood to defend it against pirates, against nobles, all the people that are going to try to invade Wano, take it over from the famed Wano. It was the city of gold, an ancient kingdom, and a renowned swordsman. So you have all this lore of Wano that everyone's coming to like sees this world's greatest swordsman and the city of gold to try to capture for themselves. And it said that Ryuma stood alone by himself while doing it, forging. I don't know while doing it, he forces Blade Black, but he forces Blade Black and stood alone defending Wano, undefeated. To me, that I view that as the greater feat personally, because you're taking on pirates and their crews, you're taking on military mights and all of that by yourself. You know, we haven't really heard something like that. Only when we got a little bit was like Roger would go against a military by himself and take out a kingdom. You know, so to me personally, I view that as greater from what I remember.
So to my understanding, what Broker is saying is that the feat of slaying the dragon in, is it Wanted or Monster, whatever the one shot was.
Yeah.
Monsters,
Yeah, it's not actually the feat. He's saying that he went beyond that and slayed a celestial dragon, and that's why he's so famous. We just saw this one moment in time where he did that, and our that's what we thought was him slaying the dragon.
It's like the myth.
Now, to talk to the main point about him slaying the dragon and everything, I love that theory. I do, because one, to everybody's point, it just didn't seem that impressive when Ryuma did it in the one shot.
Yeah.
But the other piece of it is, as we all say, Zoro is supposed to emulate Ryuma, and vice versa. He's supposed to be basically a model for Zoro, right? Zoro, once upon a time, was about to slay a celestial dragon. I don't know if y'all remember. He was this close to doing it. So it would be another perfect homage to, like, this is what Zoro would do. That's what Ryuma probably did in a similar situation. He was like, oh, sure. And there was no Bonnie there to stop Ryuma from slaying that dragon.
Yeah.
And then that could very well be why Wano is so isolated in that way, where it's like, okay, you slayed a celestial dragon, now you're on Wano. They probably sent everybody, they sent admirals, they sent whatever the time frame people that they needed to send after him there. And to Lawrence's point, Ryuma defended Wano. Wano is not an allied nation of the world government. So I just feel like it could be so much perfect Ryuma lore, and it would still tie back to the real Zoro that we see in the story today. So I love the theory. I do. I don't know about the dragon being a warship and everything. That's for you and Kev to talk about. But I do love the connection of the Celestial and Ryuma potentially slaying it. I just think it will be way better for the narrative of the story than it being that extremely weak dragon we saw him slay in Wanted.
And also
Monsters.
support that we could still have Zoro, so to speak, slay Celestial, because if they do end up fighting the Gorosei. The Gorosei are celestial dragons. We saw one wielding a sword. Even if they're not heavy fighters or whatever, you could still have that where they need to be taken out regardless, you know? That could be one that Zoro takes out.
Yeah, that's the one, I thought the exact one that he was about to take out at 𝗬𝗏𝗧, I 100% think that's the celestial dragon Zoro's going to end up taking out personally himself.
Yeah.
But as to go with what Kev said, I like that about the whale, and I'm thinking now, as we know, objects can have devil fruits, especially Zoans that we've seen. You could have best of both worlds. You could have it be the weapon Uranus that has been given the whale devil fruit.
See? You see? That's just one other way it could be possible. It's just another way.
It's all possible.
Yeah.
Nah.
You were spazzing, bro.
Was
you
I?
were spazzing. Like, I wasn't on camera. I don't know. I was just like staring at him, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. Like when you brought up the Charlos thing, I was like, yes, he did almost kill that bum. Yeah. Yes.
But
Broker,
the
man.
parallel you could also have is the fact that the swordsman that Ryuma was also fighting at the time, that could be just another parallel for Mihawk. That's another person Zoro's going to go after.
Yeah, for sure. For those of y'all that haven't read Monsters, please do. It's a really cool one-shot. You're basically seeing peak Zoro. But, Broker, thank you so much for the call on the theory, man. I think you got another banger, bro. Honestly, I do.
Thank you very much.
you need to make a YouTube channel, Broker.
For real, bro.
No, I want to help yours.
It's giving you the fire clips, bro.
Yeah, thank you, Broker.
You're very welcome as always.
And get some sleep, man.
Yeah.
I know it's late.
No, staying up, that'd be ridiculous.
I think it's like 11.
We appreciate you so much, Broker.
Yes, thank you, Broker.
Excellent. Next time, theory for next time is going to be what the national treasure is.
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay.
Can't wait.
Nicolas Cage is going after that.
Later, man.
All right, take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.
I'm going.
Broker's always good times, man.
Mm-hmm.
I like that theory, bro.
That was clean.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? This is Larry from that One Piece Talk. Who are you and how are you?
What's up, guys? It's Ryunosuke.
Hey,
the guy. What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Yo, what's up? That theory was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. It reminded me of Larry's theory that he just freestyled where Rio was being created to write on the poneglyphs since they're basically indestructible. I still haven't forgot about that. That was a pretty cool theory, Larry.
Yes, thank you. I don't get praised
right,
for anything. So.
But I called in to kind of gloat because, like Larry, I now know what it feels like to finally be right. And I've been saying this for years. Blackbeard is a bum. Everyone was saying Blackbeard was number one. Blackbeard beats Emu. Blackbeard's over Shanks. What about now? Bumbeer stands he's on FRAUDWATCH, bro. You can't tell me he's being top 5 and his crew can't just know this law while jumping him. I mean, Beppo was able to fight the man and Van Augur at the same time and escape. And thank you, Patrick, for pointing out that he didn't even see it coming. Like, he almost has no hockey feet, but he's top 5? Like, get out of here, bro. I don't hear anyone saying that Bumbeard is all that anymore. And I've been saying he's a bum for years.
Yeah. Yo, you want to keep going? You can.
Nah, I'm done. Also, for the cosplays, you got Seb's and Larry's already done. But I also saw in the chat that Seb can do Lucky Roo, and I think that's pretty cool.
We talked about that one before.
Yeah, we could try to do that.
I can do Lucky Roo.
Listen, man, I got blasted because I was on IMD King's stream, and we were doing a top 30, and I ended up putting Blackbeard, I think it was the 16th strongest in the world right now, in terms of just strength.
That's solid.
And
I put him like...
everybody was wilding out on me, bro. And, I had a lot of solid picks above him. And it was because of the fact that it's like the Kid effect. If Kid and Blackbeard were to have these extreme hockeys, which I've stated before, they no longer top 20. They start to creep into that top 10. Blackbeard possibly top 5. It just really depends on, how efficient they are with hockey. And I think that, a lot of people base off the fact that Blackbeard will eventually be Luffy's greatest opponent. But there's no evidence right now that says he's the greatest opponent right now. And then, you know, they base off of weird facts like Shanks scarring Blackbeard scarring Shanks 12 plus years ago before he was a Yonko and lost his arm. So it's like, you know, if you want to say that Shanks is the same strength as he is back then to now, then that means does Shanks get one-shotted by Magellan the same way Blackbeard did with his whole crew? I mean, there's contradiction there too. So it's like you can't even bring that up without people spazzing on you and telling you that you don't know One Piece or that you're wrong. But they never realize what I always say is there are certain characters on Fraud Watch. Blackbeard is definitely one of them. But at the end, they will be where they're supposed to be. And I think that's the basis of everything I always say. Just give it time. And that's crazy because people always telling me to give it time. But I'm saying it back. Give it time. You're running. Yo, you got too much dip on your chip. Anybody else want to say to that?
I mean, like, for me, like I said, I power scale with the narrative, so obviously Blackbeard is super high in my opinion because he's the main antagonist of the entire story. Mm-hmm. And I get what you're saying with the hockey feats, but that's the point. He doesn't have hockey feats because he doesn't have hockey, and that's how Luffy's going to beat the snot out of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, he has hockey.
He just doesn't have
but not
feet.
like Luffy hockey.
Yeah, he doesn't have Luffy
like,
hockey.
He's carried by the devil fruits, and that's the whole MO. You know what I mean? He cheats his way to the top. Luffy grinds his way to the top. That's the whole dichotomy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And
Yeah.
Oda's been pushing that for a hot minute. You know, especially with now. With Kuzan. Now with Kuzan. I just had to make 100% sure. I was like, now with Kuzan. You know, he somehow has access to an admiral. Like, I'd say that's like way crazier than Luffy getting Jinbei. You know, having an admiral on your crew versus a warlord. Like, I don't know. He's clouded up and he's cheated his way to the top, and that's what makes him like such a threat. But him on his own, outside of his influence, is not a threat. It's very similar to like how people think Buggy is a bum, but his influence is so strong. That's why he's carried by like Mihawk, for example. You know, the Cross Guild wouldn't work without Mihawk with Buggy. That's like the close example, I would say. You know,
the thing too I want to point out is like people also count that as a feat for Blackbeard,
having Aokiji under him, and I'm like, do you count Buggy having Mihawk under him as a feat too? Like, is that Buggy's feat, or is that more like, you know, he never made Mihawk submit, right? Like, he's using Mihawk. And it's the same thing with Blackbeard. Like, Blackbeard never made Aokiji submit. He actually, like, panicked. And he was like, yo, like, unfreeze my boys. Like, I'd rather recruit you than fight you. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things about Blackbeard's character, too. It's like, he didn't earn Aokiji. Aokiji just happened to come into his path, and through fate and what happened at the Marine, you know, at Punk Hazard with Akainu, it happened to be, our things align right now, and you're part of my crew. And it's like, at any point, like, if Blackbeard started tripping up, like, I feel like Aokiji would, you know, like, if he was about to murder like a little girl, he definitely, like, he'd stop him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there's no question about it. I feel like if you did question that, then you probably think you know Blackbeard more than like we do. And it's like, nah, like, we know him a little better. You know what's funny to that point? So far, based off of the interactions we've seen, when Blackbeard goes and does his stuff, he leaves Aokiji to go do something else. Because he knows if he wilds out too much, he might have to deal with Aokiji for real. Like, yo, you go to Whole Cake Island, I'm going to go somewhere else. Mm-hmm. You go stay here while I go do something else. Like, out of potentially fear, like, if I act up too much in front of him, he might turn on me. So that's
a perfect example with him on Whole Cake. Like, he didn't kill anyone, he just froze them all. We know that freezing them doesn't really do anything, like with Robin and Luffy on Long Ring Longland. You know, obviously they were completely fine, and you know, obviously my guy Jaguar D Soul, you know, he was completely fine. So love to see
Is that 1081 or 1082?
That's 1081.
All right. Yeah. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't want to bug out.
Because I thought I was doing
it too.
Yeah, I was like, all right, hold on.
I had to catch myself for a second. I was like, wait, I know I didn't spill. But,
Now, I was gonna say, like, one thing we got to keep in mind about Blackbeard, which we all do, like we are, I think we're on the same page with it, is that again with Blackbeard, remember, he's the polar opposite of Luffy, right? Blackbeard's an opportunist. He's gonna work in his mind what is smarter, not harder. Any way that he could achieve his goal with the less strain on himself or also without working hard. Luffy's a hard worker. Luffy's gonna fight through the mud the hardest way. I'm going through it, like, you know, for the journey, right, for the adventure, but also the challenge. You know, that's not Blackbeard. He's like, I want to kind of live in paradise. I want to go on the coast where it's going to be easy ride for me. You know, like and things kind of work that way for him because he takes that opportunity to pounce on it. Like, even, for example, he has some haki, but he's not strengthening his haki somewhat. He's focusing on his abilities, right? I think, because you could also argue, too, like, we haven't seen, like, all right, now with the whole right now, he keeps getting attacked by people and getting hit by it. That could slowly start triggering. We're like, all right, his observation could start getting affected because he keeps getting hit by attacks, you know? It's like now your body's reacting to, you're going to die if you keep getting hit by these attacks, where observation can start kicking in. But he doesn't naturally have it because, you know, you have to turn it on. And we see him get sweetless or surprised so many times. A defense mechanism may happen. It's like, all right, to defend yourself, your body, like with Luffy. He kept getting hitting, but Luffy focused on it. He worked to train it. Blackbeard, it may just even happen just because he's so used to getting attacked and getting hit by it, like to preserve his own life. But Blackbeard, he's the opposite of Luffy, so he's going to go about it anyway, the opposite of Luffy, the way Luffy doesn't do it. Like, they call them the dark straw hats, you know, and the same way he gets it. Like, for example, and also too, I actually wanted to mention this on the other episode. Doesn't this, and this kind of, to me, I'm sorry, Par, but this kind of shoots down to me personally. Two few things. The whole Rocks is a Buggy dude. Because two things right here. I find that statement that Blackbeard said kind of plays into how the Rocks has his crew. Right? You have all these conquerors on there, but they're kind of battling each other. They're fighting each other. They're not in agreement. Blackbeard says, it's not like we're all buddy here. We all have our own agendas, and we happen to that works out for each other, so we're teaming up. To me, that kind of explains what the Rocks Pirates, you know, where like you had someone who had an idea to go this, and it happened to work with all the other ones, but they all kept clashing with each other because they're all conquerors and they kind of go for their own agenda, right? But Rocks was able to get them together because if you look at it, Blackbeard's putting a crew similar, but obviously the Rocks' crew was a stronger crew, that one, that he was able to maintain it for longer. And the reason why I'm going to go shoot that down is because Garp actually says something, and me and Lana were talking about it, and I didn't think about it until now. This is where I shoot that theory. Remember when Ace didn't run against Blue Jam, right? And then when Dan reflected on it, he goes into what Garp said. And Garp says, and because Ace says, I will never run. And she thinks back what Roger said about what Garp said about Roger. Even when you're facing an enemy you couldn't possibly beat, Roger wouldn't run, right? And then he says, yeah, Roger was like that. How would Garp know that Roger was like that? What time where he actually fought with Roger, where Roger faced an unbeatable enemy, so that he should run, but he chose not to.
That could be an example. It's not guaranteed. I know
it's not. But the thing is,
I feel you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like he saw it firsthand with the situation because the odds were like not in their favor at all. It's like, yo, you shouldn't be fighting these people right now. But Roger didn't stood his ground and fought them. You know. But yeah, but by going by that example, like it's making what we're saying is making that what I'm trying to say is that Blackbeard is supposed to be the smaller scale. What I'm saying, a smaller scale of the Rocks. Right, but I don't believe he's as in the Rocks where he's an opportunist like that. Rocks, I feel like even if regardless of like how they don't Blackbeard's pirate crew is, it's different how the Rocks pirate crew is, where like Rocks was able to still kind of like band them together, so to speak.
Yeah,
that's a great take. I love that.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to say before we let you go?
I agree with Larry. He's a bum right now, but sooner or later he's gonna change up, and he's gonna probably be top 5, maybe even top 3. So I 100% agree. Yeah, that was about it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ryunosuke. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you too, guys. All right, have a good stream.
Yeah, you too. Enjoy the rest of the show.
That was so fascinating because like I didn't zone out, but I was so fixated on your Blackbeard Rocks parallel. I was like, what was the question again?
Listen,
that was amazing. Man.
Blackbeard being on Fraud Watch, winning the poll, 58% right now, with almost 100 votes. So.
Everybody comes around eventually. Hey, what's going on? This is Larry from that One Piece Talk. Who are you and how are you?
My name is David. I'm from Chicago. I'm good.
Hey, Chi-Town, man. What's up, man? How are you? How's everything?
I'm great. You know, there was a lot of talk about Blackbeard, and me personally, I just don't get why people seem to think Blackbeard is going to be Luffy's like end-game fight. In my opinion, it's more personal with Shanks and between Shanks and Blackbeard, and the only way Luffy should fight Blackbeard is if Blackbeard kills Shanks. But it would suck if Oda has hidden Shanks just to make that happen. You get me?
I do get that. So what's your question then? What do you think, you know?
I just think he's supposed to be parallel, but I just don't see a reason why Luffy would have to fight him. Obviously, we got the same end game. Everybody's in the race, but is that enough for Blackbeard to be the one that Luffy faces?
So I think what Blackbeard's role in this will be that he'll force him to be the one that Luffy has to fight in order to become the Pirate King, right? So something he does. Everybody was talking about Blackbeard and scaling him or whatever. To Larry's point, he thinks Blackbeard will eventually get there, probably by eating another devil fruit. Or end in that moment doing something that will cause a situation that Luffy has to fight him, where it becomes down to just Luffy and Blackbeard at the end. So whether Luffy fights Shanks first or Blackbeard fights Shanks first, something will happen where it's Luffy and Blackbeard for the title, right? Maybe Buggy's in there, Shanks in there, whatever. But what Oda's been doing since Wano's ended has been basically eliminating other competitors for the title.
Yeah.
Blackbeard, whether you like him or not, survived his mini ordeal with Law and is probably going to survive whatever ordeal happens on 𝐵𝐻𝐻 to further his goals or gains or claim towards the throne. So, again, I love Blackbeard. I don't know if I have him top 5. I do. That's my guy. I just do. That's my guy. I'll let y'all get y'all's off, whatever. It's not looking great right now. I will acknowledge that. But that's still my guy. I still have high hopes for him. And maybe I scale a little bit too much to the narrative. But
you still think that Marco beats King to some degree, so
that's a flame matchup problem, though.
Yeah.
Listen, okay. Bro. If I can get rid of your flames, that's neither here nor there. My point
just
is
something that Marco just can't do.
He did it versus Big Mom.
He did
it versus King. Whatever. Anyway. Ultimately, something Blackbeard will do, whether it is gaining another devil fruit, whether it is finding the Burn Scar Man, whatever will happen, will put him in position to have a path to Pirate King. And he will have to face Luffy. Because if it doesn't happen, then what were we doing this entire time? Like, I know people might not like Blackbeard, but then what's the point of his character? If we don't even get to that point where it's him versus Luffy for Pirate King, what were we doing? What was the point? Why do we have all this buildup? Why do we have the parallel of somebody who is going about it the wrong way? The guy who is using cheat codes in order to get power-ups and gain crew members in the wrong way. The point of the story is to show you this guy's doing it the wrong way, this guy's doing it the right way. They're going to meet at the top, or at least just below top. Now, if you're saying he's not the end game villain, that's fine, but they do have to fight. There does need to be a conclusion to their two arcs.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I hope you still believe that.
Well, my perspective was more of, I hear exactly what you're saying, but the exact same thing applies with Shanks. He's hidden in mystery for a reason, and all we pretty much know is his beef with Blackbeard is personal. So if Shanks doesn't fight Blackbeard, then what's Shanks' purpose?
No, I'm
He's
fine.
in this race as well.
So I'm fine with Shanks fighting Blackbeard. I just need Blackbeard to come out victorious in that situation, whether it's through underhanded tactics or whatever. That's all I need. That's it. It doesn't need. Again, it would make the beef with Luffy more spicy, which is what I want. And ultimately, again, like we did with Kid and Law, we got to start clipping off some of these Pirate King candidates to the point where it becomes either Luffy or Shanks or Blackbeard or whatever. But if we don't get the showdown between Luffy and Blackbeard, then I don't know what we were reading for the past Even longer than that.
Like 800
800 chapters. What were we
Blackbeard was
reading
introduced.
if it's not Luffy and Blackbeard at the end?
Like, I just had like not a brain blast, but like a realization. So it was pretty recent with Film Red. Oda released this volume thing, and he revealed that Shanks has like a fire sword, and I'm like, oh, you brought up the point that Shanks would be like an Ace parallel, like Ace dies to further inspire Luffy to hate Blackbeard, and now he has a fire sword, just like how his brother had the fire fruit. Oh, that could be, you know, the light is getting snuffed out, more imagery of that possibly happening. I don't know. And with Blackbeard being Rock's parallel, in my opinion, and Rock's era being before Roger's era, if Shanks and Blackbeard are the last two, well, and Buggy, but we're not saying Buggy is that level, let's be honest. Yeah. But if Shanks and Blackbeard are the last two from that era that are the Pirate King candidates, right? Obviously, if Blackbeard's the last one, and Luffy, it would be like Rock's and Roger again. It would be a similar type of thing. I feel like Oda would definitely do that. Now, I get what you're saying. Like, obviously, Emu could be the main big bad of the story because the world government's like the big bad of the story. But I still think Blackbeard and Emu are definitely like the two big ones. And this isn't to slander like anyone who likes like Akainu versus Luffy, because that I think should happen as well. But I feel like those two have more oomph. And with what you were saying about it's not as personal for Luffy versus Blackbeard, I cannot agree with that at all. I gotta be completely honest, because Blackbeard was the reason Ace died. He was the reason. He was the cause of it. Blackbeard was the one who hurt his mentor. There's a lot of build-up for that, in my opinion. And when Luffy found out Blackbeard was Blackbeard and Impel Down, he was shook. He was shook. And it was like, you're Blackbeard? And there was this whole like climactic fight, and then it just ended because he couldn't do anything at the moment, which is, well, not because he couldn't like attack him. He obviously made Blackbeard immensely in pain, but I meant he had to go. He couldn't like finish it right there. Not that I think he could, to be honest, at that point, but
Luffy got destroyed.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to say something before Larry goes. And I know this is going to be probably highly disagreed upon, but I'm just saying another I could take. One, Luffy's and Blackbeard, they're definitely fighting. Like, when and where, don't know, but that's like almost guaranteed. But the scenario you brought up, like, you know, where it's going is like from the previous eras, Blackbeard and Shanks. But you gotta remember who else is from that era. It's gonna sound crazy, but so is Cross Guild.
Yeah.
Right? So we could get Luffy versus Blackbeard, and around that time, Shanks versus Cross Guild.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I would love that.
And then the winners too face each other. Like, we could very well get that.
And it could be, this could be, all right, now this could be kind of crazy, actually, now we're talking about it, because Buggy's whole vibe is circus vibes, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, you know what other crew is kind of like that? Foxy.
Listen.
Right? No, but this is so, all right, so, no, this is so serious, this is so serious.
Did I tell
you know how,
never mind, go ahead.
You know how Shanks has a bunch of these, like, rando pirate crews under him?
Mm-hmm.
What if Foxy's one of them? And Foxy learned it from Shanks. And so Shanks does a real Davy backfight. And in order to, you know, level the playing field, maybe he's like, oh, if you beat me, like him versus Mihawk will happen again. You know, that's another super built-up fight. I think that'd be crazy.
That's why I went with the Red Hair versus Cross Guild. And that, no, I didn't say Buggy Pirates. I said Cross Guild because obviously Buggy, because the thing is, Buggy is not the captain of, like, even though he's not.
It's
right?
a three-way, like, thing.
You know, exactly. But the main thing is, like, even though Mihawk says he didn't want to fight Shanks back then against one arm, to me, I still believe we get a rematch. You know? So
Crazy as hell.
What?
Crazy as hell we got time for a Shanks and Mihawk rematch, bro. We don't got time for that.
Well, no, because I'm going my.
It'll be 5 years.
We don't have time for that, bro.
No. Well, I'm talking about like because like, you know, Yonkos. You know, so the scenario I put out, but we know Luffy's gonna fight Blackbeard. We can definitely see the other two Yonkos fighting.
Like a tournament bracket.
Yeah.
I have my own thoughts on how that plays out, but I won't divulge it here.
If I speak.
Larry?
I mean, when we realistically look at Blackbeard's character, Oda's trying to tell us two things. And it's both about freedom. So, freedom to do whatever you want, freedom to do whatever you want. What's the challenges of having freedom and doing whatever you want? Chaos. uncontrolled chaos. Freedom to do whatever you want literally lets anybody do whatever they want. And, you know, I think that's what comes with Blackbeard and that's what comes with Luffy. And I think that they're both dangerous. And I know people like to see the light side of Luffy and the dark side of Blackbeard. But to me, both of these people are like great characters. Because I was explaining it on TikTok Live with Chestnut yesterday, is that when you know, Luffy to a degree is just as evil as Blackbeard. He just doesn't have schemer intentions. But when he went to go save Ace, and Hannibal stepped in his way and was like, yo, you being selfish and trying to free Ace for doing what his actions led him to be, you're gonna let all these other pirates go and be released, and they're gonna take their anger and their frustrations on peaceful civilians. And Luffy didn't care about that. Why? Because he felt, because of his freedom and wanting to do whatever he wanted to do was his choice. He didn't care about the consequences of the other pirates he was letting loose on the world. That's an issue for the world. This is why the world government, as corrupted as they may be, are actually a positive to the world, because then they take care of those individuals when they need to. And the thing with Blackbeard is he's the same exact way. He just doesn't do it in a happy, you know, ice cream cake way where it looks all pretty. So I think that when Oda sends this vibe between Luffy and Blackbeard, we've seen it with their first meeting about dreams on Jaya. And then we've seen it about the desires and wanting to be a pirate king, right? It's just about, like, he's going to be the end game opponent. They're going to get there eventually, and they're going to fight. And I think that he's most likely going to be the end game villain, for sure. Because in order for Luffy to be whatever he has to be, he has to challenge somebody that also wants that same goal. And I know that Akainu's there. I don't give much credit to Imu. He could be another stelly. It's just, overall, it's like, this is the guy that wants to take away the thing that I want. And Oda put that in front of us, so I think that's going to be it. But if Blackbeard touches that dude right now, man, he better...
Arms too short to box with God right now?
To box with Nika, man. You better be careful.
Gotta pull out the moon god or something.
You're gonna have to do something.
Yeah, and also just to add real quick, the reason why you're also adding like a third fruit is because you gotta remember, Luffy's his attack power is increasing dramatically, and Blackbeard still takes double damage. So like you gotta remember him getting hit by this. How much can he really take without something to support that?
Have they ever confirmed that it's actually double damage versus just being able to be hit while you're still Logia? Have we ever gotten confirmation on that?
The confirmation,
I think it was confirmed.
Everybody gets it confused. It's not double damage. It's double the pain.
Oh. Yeah.
So he gets double the pain every time he receives something that it's inflicted on top of him.
But again, is that like just jargon for like, yo, I can still be hit as a Logia? Like, you know what I mean? Or is that actually, yo, it's doubled?
Well, it's just double pain, bro. That's what it was stated in the official trends.
It's almost like he might have doubled the nerves and doubled the influences manipulating his insides.
There's some people that believe that he's more durable than Kaido, so it's okay. It's all right, bro.
Oh, man.
But, yo, thank you for bringing that topic up, man, and thank you for calling as well. I greatly appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I hope to hear from you again.
For sure.
Yeah, man. Have a good one.
All right.
All right. All right, later.
Marv, don't let Mike Super call in, man. I'm not trying to hear that energy today.
Marv, after this call, we'll take the sponsorship break, okay? And then we'll do super chats after. Hey, guys, how's it going? This is Larry from that One Piece Talk. Who are you and how are you?
How's it going? My name's Tom.
Hey, Tom. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. If you guys remember, a couple weeks ago, you had that guy call in about S-Hawk versus King when you guys ripped him to shreds.
Mm-hmm.
I was the guy in the background telling him he was an idiot.
Oh my god.
Yo, the beef is real. I love it.
The beef is
I
real.
love it.
Yo, what's up, Tom? Speak to us, bro.
He's my roommate at school. We watch it every week.
Oh, awesome.
Wow.
Thank you.
Man.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that.
So you guys are just taking calls and questions today?
Yeah.
Yeah, no 1082 talk has not been released by the official, so please no 1082.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm a huge Usopp fan, as hard as that is to say out loud nowadays.
Yes. Welcome, Tom.
Really?
Welcome to the.
And my buddy Brady, who called in, rips him to shreds all the time and calls me an idiot. So I need to know what you got, if at all, what you guys think Oda's going to do for Usopp eventually.
It's all you, Kev.
Please, okay.
Because these two, they're not Usopp gang at all.
Okay. So as you guys know, I said in the chat and a Buggy gang, but Usopp is the GOAT. He is my second favorite character in the whole series. Luffy's top 1, but then Usopp is right there because Usopp is fire. Tom, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. You're a brave Usopp fan in these trying times, But we'll be up. We'll be up in 𝐴𝐵𝐴𝐵. We will be so up. So for me, Usopp, he's got to get Mjolnir or something. He's got to have his moment. I'm not gonna say Usopp conquerors. I'm not that level because I'm not just gonna completely ride for him that hard. But he's gonna have his moment. He's gonna get the Mjolnir obviously because of the hammer gag that's been a thing for such a long time. He's probably gonna get that. And the Giants are probably going to be subjugated by Loki. Maybe Loki's working with Kid because both of them seem to probably, well, we don't know anything about Loki, but Loki being the trickster guy, he probably doesn't mess with Shanks because the Giants like Shanks more than him, presumably. This is all theorization based off the name and stuff, but, we know Loki from Marvel and stuff, and he's a troll. So it's probably going to be somewhat similar in a way. And we know Usopp is probably going to have a lot of love from the Giants. Or maybe the Giants are like down on their luck and Usopp has to be the one that lifts them up, similar to what he did in Enies Lobby with 𝗲𝗲 and 𝘆cie and how he looked up to Dorian Bragi. He's going to have to blend them both together and do both at the same time. And then maybe not only does he lift up the Giant spirits, he lifts up Mjolnir, which is a weapon that's only capable of being used by people who have the spirit of 𝗷𝐵𝐴𝐵 within them, like a brave warrior of the sea. I love Usopp. You can't tell.
We can tell.
Yeah. So I'm very hopeful for.
I like that take.
Yeah.
I also usually go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I usually agree with a lot of what Larry says on this podcast, but I'm not really too excited to hear what he has to say about it.
Take it away, Larry. Go ahead.
I'll try to stay positive. I think that the greatest moments in Usopp are the moments that matter the most for the crew. Anything that has to do with the crew and him being for the crew is amazing. So he did something like that at Water 7 with Enies Lobby, remember? He's one of the main reasons that Luffy even got back up to defeat Lucci.
Yep.
That's one of the greatest parts of that whole story. And then he kind of did that with Stampede versus Bullet. So I would really love to see Oda go in the direction of keeping his lies coming true. And I hope when he does give his life as a brave warrior and becomes what he wants to be most, it's in the essence of protecting the crew or protecting Luffy becoming the Pirate King. Like without him doing that, Luffy doesn't get to become Pirate King. And it's crazy because it would call back to their fight of him leaving the crew because he didn't feel like he was useful anymore. And that's one of the reasons why he wanted to keep Mary around, because if they could just throw away a Nakama, then they would probably just throw him away eventually. And just to see that come back full circle, that would really mean a lot to me, because then you can also, Sebastian tries to say that Zoro's not the best friend for Luffy. It actually is Usopp, right? So for me, I think that we always put these importances on like Sanji and Zoro being the wings of the Pirate King. I think that Usopp also being another wing would be amazing, but it's just the wing that you can't see. Like he'd be like the wind under the wing.
Go, Larry. I love that.
I'm trying to be nicer, bro.
Positive Usopp affirmations from Larry. I love to see it. Listen, I go over the top with my Usopp love sometimes. Yes. I put in the poll, Soga King, Kaya's baby daddy, God D Usopp, all the things that Usopp actually is. And they're all winning the poll, you know what I'm saying? But I go as far as to say he could become a conqueror. I've said it on this podcast before. I know it's a wild take. I think with the narrative sometimes, if Usopp ever becomes the brave warrior of the sea, how is Oda going to portray that? What would that person look like for Usopp? It would be a complete tone shift for his character. Now, there's two ways to accomplish that. Larry mentioned one, dying as a brave warrior of the sea for the crew. That's one way he can accomplish it. Another way, him unlocking his Conqueror's haki. Now, again, I get some pushback on that. That's fine. That's fair. I just know if Usopp is going to achieve that dream, there needs to be a real narrative moment for him that shows us that and creates the tone shift for his character. Him becoming that brave warrior of the sea. What would that look like? Y'all ask yourselves that. You might feel the same way because you seem to like Usopp a lot, but I feel like it's possible. I know Lawrence hates it. I know Larry hates it, but Kev didn't even like it either.
We're like a Usopp sandwich, you know. Yeah. It's like hate and love.
Hate and love in the middle.
The one thing I do want to get cleared, bro, is like I don't necessarily think that me and Lawrence ever hate anything. It's just that we see things realistically compared to your like glazing moments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
you want to glaze sometimes.
Because I know that Lawrence and me don't actually hate Usopp because when he is cool, he's cool. It's just that we don't like the way he does things and we don't believe he's more than you guys actually make him out to be, which is okay. But we do respect when he does do what's needed for the crew or what's needed for him. And that's what we admire the most.
Can I?
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would consider myself a realistic fan too. I don't think Usopp's gonna get Conquerors, if I'm telling the truth. I've seen 3 major theories people have for power-ups, and I don't know which ones I agree with, but it's a fruit, the hammer, and then his own like hockey ability, which people call like the liar of observation, where he almost like he could show people false futures, which would be just dope.
That'd be kind of crazy. Especially versus like Augur teleporting around.
Versus like Katakuri.
So like you
can
could show someone that he has 8,000 men and he doesn't, and then they're like, "Yo, what?
He actually has like thousands of men behind him.
No, but then see, if you do that, then you're gonna have Parr come out with a theory that proves that's why that's Conqueror's hockey. Because he's literally
summons 1,000.
I would subscribe to that theory. If I can through my observation force you to see 8,000 people that just aren't there.
Yeah.
That sounds like you're manipulating will of some kind.
I'm saying, I don't know.
It sounds like I do want to something real quick about the Usopp glaze. So I don't glaze Usopp, right? I respect him because he's constantly saying he's a coward. Look at that. Glare.
Nah, I'm glazing.
Look at that glare.
I'm full glazing over here.
I mean, he is number 2. You know, he's like a Krispy Kreme donut the way there's glaze all over.
Pause. What does that mean?
Hey, yo, right there. Hey, in Philly, we don't do pause.
Hey, yo! Wait, what?
You ever heard that phrase?
I don't even know.
How to respond. You ever heard that before?
Yo, what?
Y'all don't pause? Y'all just keep it on resume?
No, it's a thing. They say, yo, in Philly, we don't do pause. It's a whatever.
What do y'all do?
Anyway, no, they say pause, but there's a meme with this whatever.
So,
thank you.
He'd be like, yo, what's up? He'd be like, just finish it.
Too wild.
Okay, so back to Usopp. So Usopp, what makes him so great is that he thinks he's a coward, yet he does all this stuff. And Usopp's greatest lie is that he isn't brave. Look at that. That's some video essay type analysis right there, or whatever. That's the 3-hour Usopp character analysis or whatever.
But I see. Then this is where I'm not gonna bash Usopp, but I'm gonna take him for what he is what I'm saying, right?
I like the way that starts.
Is what I mean is like, because I've been trying to catch up with the show, and I'm to the part where like in the Dressrosa arc, where he was letting the Tontadas, get beat down, blow up, practically die, and he's dipping. He's just like, who do you think I am? He's running away, you know? Yes, he does.
That was only because Robin had got turned.
because he forgot Robin.
He forgot Robin existed.
And he also forgot 𝗀𝗏, his bravery. Like, that's...
I know he did come back. But to me, it's like, right? So to me, it's like, I believe that Usopp's going to, right, even... Because his dream, right, is to become a brave warrior in the sea. And we all believe that all the Straw Hats are going to accomplish their dream. We know this. So he's going to do it, right? When he's going to do it, I don't know. How he's going to do it, I don't know. But I do it's going to sound weird, but I do think his father's actually going to play a part in that. Usopp. It could be, I don't know if it's going to be acknowledged by his dad or whatever, but I feel like Usopp's going to play a part. Because I also think part of his cowardice is because Usopp left.
You don't need no acknowledgement from that man. Usopp need to put hands on him when he see him.
No,
hands.
They're going to fight, and this is going to get into a part why we see where he becomes a brave warrior, how he's going to fight his dad. And Van Olgar is going to play a part of this because you also think about these two people he's going to fight, Van Olgar and Usopp. Right now, we can't even, especially what we saw with Van Olgar, Usopp gets smoked. Like, it's like no contest between these two, right? But Usopp is the reason why he doesn't view himself as brave because he doesn't view himself as strong, right? But he's able to compete with these people, possibly beat Van Olgar and then rival his father. It's going to build him a confidence where that fear is gone because he already knows his father's strong. He already knows how his father's great. But if he could rival his father, that's where, like, you know what? I'm this strong. I don't need anything to fear. He's going to come to the realization that I am brave because I'm strong, you know? And that's going to fuel him. I feel like his father's going to play a part in that.
He'll be better than Usopp as soon as he takes care of his own kid, bro. But, yo, Tom, man, anything else, man?
No, that's really it. I love the community you guys put together. And it's good to call in and have a logical conversation because my buddy Brady, who lives here and called in about the S-Talk situation, is kind of a moron.
Brady, you in the background, bro? Are you in the background?
Is he in the chat?
Nah, he's not here right now. He's in the library doing homework.
Loser.
But I'm making sure he gets to it because I'm throwing shade.
Show him the violation VOD, you know?
Oh, I'm showing him. But, yeah, he thinks me talks tougher than Shank, so I don't.
Oh my God! Get him out of here! Get him out of here!
Yo, Tom, you're a real one, bro. Thank you.
I appreciate it all a lot, and I think Larry has dub takes, by the way.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate you, man. Have a good night, Tom.
Have a good one.
Yeah, peace.
Peace. Marv, we're gonna take sponsor now, guys. Before we're gonna take sponsor and then we're gonna read all the super chats after and then we'll go back into phone calls again. But we're gonna take a little bathroom break as well. All right, we'll be right back. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Have you been struggling lately? Maybe you're having trouble sleeping, difficulty with a relationship, or just struggling from low self-esteem. Listen, I've been there. We've been there. If so, then today's BetterHelp wants to help you. BetterHelp offers licensed therapists who are trained to listen and help you. Talk to your therapist in a private, online environment at your own convenience. There is a broad range of expertise in BetterHelp's 20,000 plus therapist network that gives you access to help that may not be available in your area. You just fill out a questionnaire, simple as that, to help assess your specific needs. And then you get matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Then you schedule a secure video and phone sessions. Plus, you can exchange unlimited messages and everything you share is completely confidential. I happened to sign up at one point regarding my confidence issues. Next thing you know, my confidence issues are not issues anymore. I'm doing pretty well in that area. You can request a new therapist at no additional charge anytime. Join the 2 million plus people who have taken charge of their mental health with an experienced BetterHelp therapist. Special offer goes out to all that One Piece Talk listeners. You get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/TOPT. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TOPT. Thanks again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this episode. Welcome back. Seb, let's get started on the super chats.
Yeah, we got a bunch of super chats sitting. Before we hit them, I did want to shout out Samuel Shaw, Thomas Crew, Patrick Flannery, Pig Hudson, and Hunter Island. Everybody who joined as a member for our YouTube channel, we appreciate it. The memberships go right into helping us make the show better. So thank you so much. Enjoy all the emojis that come with membership. Now, with that said, let's get to these supers, man. Starting with Patrick Flannery. We got a $10 super chat that says, if you're familiar with Randy Troy's Law Isn't Sword theory, curious if you guys buy into it. Layman's terms, he thinks the hearts Law stole are the frozen people on Punk Hazard, and he works with Kuzan.
I don't know, Law, you want to answer it?
Well, didn't Blackbeard say in like 1081 that he has the pirates, the hearts he stole?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe so.
So
he did say that. So
then, if he has them, I wouldn't see the connection with that they're on Punk Hazard, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So and because also we got it from, it makes more sense because I'm pretty sure when he got, I think it was confirmed that the hearts he took it were from the Rocky Port incident.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know that theory. I would have to hear it, but from that thing right there, I think that's outside of hearts. Law stealing the hearts from them.
Yeah, I've never really bought into the Law Isn't Sword theory. I got why people went there. I just prefer Law to be an actual pirate trying to go for One Piece or the Poneglyphs or whatever, just having his own agenda and goals versus being a part of the system a little bit there. Like the point of Law is supposed to be he's more similar to Doflamingo while he's trying to be more like Corazon. That's like the story.
Yeah.
So him being in Sword and just trying to basically be Rocinante, it doesn't work the same for me.
He's a blend of both.
He's a blend of both. While he hates that side of him, that's who he actually kind of is like, and he does his best to emulate the other. So,
and I would just want to add too, because just remembering Law's backstory too, I don't know if there's anyone that would probably hate the world government or affiliates more than Law, you know, because he experienced the massacre, the genocide of his
white lead disease.
Yeah, exactly. And he knows the world government was behind it, like 100%. He has no doubt. So him being part of Sword, the Marines are affiliated with the world government. They're kind of like in union with each other.
And even the deeper part of it is the definition that we got from 𝗷𝐾𝐽 as to what Sword actually is disavowed agents that were previous Marines that are now still Marines but operating under their own situation.
Yeah.
Now, we do have examples of undercover agents here, but, like, again, even Drake as an undercover agent is a previous Marine.
Yeah.
Right.
Law, to our knowledge, has just never been one, you know? So I don't know where he would really fit in there. Like, I get the undercover part of it and him having ties to somebody who basically was doing what Sword was doing in that light with Rocinante, but he's never gone through the Marine training where he had to turn in his code, which is what Sword is as a whole.
Right.
So I just never bought into it too much.
I believe Law's a full-on pirate.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Laws and Sword. That's probably my favorite One Piece theory. So obviously, if it does happen, that'd be awesome.
Sorry, bro. We just
No, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Like, because here's the thing: I'm not like one of those theory people that are like, "Oh, if this doesn't happen, it's trash." Like, I just love the idea. I think it's really interesting, especially what you were saying with Drake and Law. Like the fact they're always connected. I find that super fascinating. Like Oda could be doing this for more than what it seems. But I like what you guys were saying. You know, with him being the blend of Doflamingo and Corazon. Like, Corazon probably wasn't Sword, realistically.
Yeah.
I will say he might owe a Sword agent a favor.
Yeah.
With Drake, you know what I mean? I don't think he's above working with Sword members. I just don't think he is one, personally.
Yeah, I think him and Sword's goals are going to align, similar to how I think, like, the Revs and Sword's goals are going to align. Like, they're all, like, in different pots, but they're all going to come together at the end game in the final war and stuff like that.
Yeah. When I heard the theory first, I said no immediately. And my basis was, I've always thought that Sengoku and Corazon, aka Rocinante, that Rocinante was in Sword, and what he was doing was, you know, in accordance to that with his brother Doflamingo, and how he was being secretive about him being an agent and Suru trying to come through. And, you know, I think Chapter 1081 proved it even further. Oh, hold on before I skip to that. So when Law and Sengoku started speaking, and Law was asking him questions, Sengoku never approached him as a sword member. He never talked to him as if he knew more information about the Marines or the world government overall. He never seemed like a sleeper agent, which most sword members are, right? And that kind of proved it to me that when they talked about what the D actually means and what Rosinante actually meant to Law, the sword argument was dead in the water. And then 1081 actually confirms it because we know that Sengoku and Tsuru know about sword, right? So that conversation to me was just permanent after that. It was like, yeah, like they would have knew that Law was actually in sword.
Yeah.
And they would have mentioned it. But I think that theory is just dead.
I think there is one little caveat, is the fact that the world didn't know that Drake was still in sword. But Drake was in sword, but he was still deemed as a pirate to the world. So the Marines were attacking him. Oda could have obviously had it where they weren't attacking him if they still knew, but I don't know how deep covered he's sort of meant to be. But I think that's the one thing. But I mean, I agree with basically everything you said, though.
It seems like sword members know other sword members.
Yeah.
That's the point I was trying to get at.
Yeah, I think the Marines would know, but the world wouldn't know, because then if they knew sword exists, it kind of defeats the purpose of sword.
Yeah.
So I think that's more of an in-house thing.
So are you guys more on the line of Kuzan being in sword like 100%? Or because he knew about sword? Or are you saying because he's an admiral he knew about sword?
I think so. I don't think he's like guaranteed to be in sword or anything like that. I just think my agenda is that he is, and that he's deep cover. But that's been my agenda from the jump. But like him knowing is just he's an admiral level person.
So, yeah.
He's been in the Marines for years. He has connections. Like he could know just from talking to two people one day. Like he'd get all that information from one conversation.
Probably Garp. I mean, Garp was like his guy. And
I don't think it would be Garp.
Really
I don't think it would be Garp. Garp might know about sword. He doesn't seem to care.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I mean?
Like,
but like he has connections. Like if I make a phone call, all the people that supported me, like sword exists in part, or at least to the level that it's at right now, because of Kainu won that battle. Like even if 𝐴𝐽𝐺 isn't in sword, he's like, I don't want to say the genesis of it, but like a large part of the people in that group,
because they don't mess with the Kainu.
Yeah, they're there because they would have backed Kuzan. I wonder if sword would exist if the opposite happened, or a different version of sword.
I mean, I always thought that sword was just always there. Like
it's possible.
Yeah, that's the thing too. But
so that's the thing. I don't know if Rosinante is a sword member. He just might have been undercover. But like we're talking straight up a system of people who disavowed themselves now.
Yeah.
I don't think that was in place before. Like you could be like Rosinante's Marine codes probably still worked. You know what I mean? Like they might have disavowed him or anything he did, but like he still had the dossier on him in his desk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're talking about like these people they're not Marines anymore essentially. Like if something happens, like no, he's not Marine. He's just not.
It's like we don't have to worry.
We don't have. Yeah. Like I don't know that. I don't think it was like a sanctioned thing for this many people before. I think there was a couple people plugging and playing like, okay, you monitor this pirate, you monitor this pirate because you have connections. In Rosinante's case, for it to be what it is now, where we're turning in our Marine codes and we can't we disavowed. If we do anything, Marines could wipe their hands with us. I don't think it was at that level yet until Kainu became. That's me though. That's just how I viewed it, how I interpreted what I read. That's how I think it is.
That was very interesting what you just said there with the sort of having a Marine associated with a pirate, because that could easily lead to like Garp is like Roger's pirate, or like Smoker is Luffy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and that's a whole nother rabbit hole.
I know,
talk
but
about
I'm just
this
saying.
another day. But Larry, you about to say something?
I don't know. I forgot. Go along.
No, I was gonna say, as dope as it was, and it'll be very interesting. I kind of feel that why I believe 𝐴𝐽𝐺 is not part of Sword is because I feel like Smoker would have known. You know, that's when they had that conversation back at Punk Hazard. Smoker was kind of weary of like, yo, the stuff I'm hearing about you, is
true.
You don't sound like the same person. Not like you don't sound like Marine. Like no, you don't sound like the 𝐴𝐽𝐺 I know. That's what he said. I'm still me. You know. He goes, well, your actions aren't showing that. You know, that was kind of like their talk. You know, so it's like you're not really representing. And then 𝐴𝐽𝐺 even says there's different ways to find out or do certain things and work good without carrying the Marine flag. You know, so where like you have people like, which I find it weird with Sword, where you have people like Kobe, he's part of Sword, so it's anyway not affiliated with the Marines. But then you have Garp saying that he's the future of the Marines, in 1081, and then he also wears the Marine uniform. So I'm kind of confused what Sword's play here, because you have Kid who doesn't dress up as a Marine at all, But granted, he went pirate. So it's like I'm a little confused with that, the whole how Sword fills in with them. And then you have other people.
Kid, you mean Drake?
Yeah.
Okay,
Kid, I'm sorry, Kid. I'm sorry. Yeah, Drake. So it's like, but I don't think Aokiji is, and also how he took when we saw him drinking. His reaction to like that bout afterwards doesn't seem like someone who has a place in the Marines. He seemed like someone who's just, I got to figure stuff out. I'm on my own.
That's fair. Right. Good super chat. We got another $2 from UNV. It says #shirtless7. No, I'm playing. We got another 35 Rand from Storm King. It says, Admirals are dogs, Lucci is a cat. Why are you putting a cat on the same level as the big dogs? #love TOP.
I mean, all I gotta say is Fujitora is a tiger, which is a cat, and a leopard and a tiger are pretty similar, guys.
Big cat.
Leopards are big cats.
Smaller cat.
Okay.
But but tigers beat leopards in fights.
I don't know anything about it.
Aren't tigers like almost extinct? Isn't that like a real thing?
That's not because of leopards. What the hell?
The leopards outrun. Leopards outrun the tigers. I guess.
Man, I don't know I don't know enough about animals.
He really tried to say like leopards were out here attacking tigers.
I'm looking at like
dinosaurs are extinct, bro.
Oh, they are. Yeah. That doesn't mean them less cool.
By your logic, they're less powerful.
I know. I'm looking at Zoo Book piece. That's what I'm looking at.
All right. We got another $100 super chat from our guy Celestial Doggy CD. Thank you so much, man.
Wow, CD, thank you so much.
As always, #Buggy Gang. Start a poll to bring back Larry D. Clown. Are we bringing it back? 100? Are we bringing it back? we got another $2 super chat from our guy James Hudson that also says #Buggy Gang and #Larry D Clown returns.
Dang.
We got another £5 from the broker. It says, Kev man, you have some awesome takes. You are so close to a theory I have on Endgame Blackbeard. I would love to share it with you if you have a Discord, etc. I can use.
Well, if you do want to get to the Discord or whatever, consider checking out the channel for my trash Lucci takes and some of these theories.
Oh, man. Shout out the broker. We got another $2 from Austin Gregg. It says, love you guys. Keep on kicking butt. Thank you so much, Austin.
Thank you.
Another £10 from the broker. It says, I won't take a call away from someone. So to add to my original Blackbeard theory, the reason Blackbeard is heading to Egghead is to get S-Snake or to deal with York, so he can get the power without having to kill Boa. I don't know if you guys remember, but that original broker theory was about him stoning all the One Piece Devil Fruits users. So that was why he went to Amazon Lily to get Boa's fruit. So
yeah,
interesting one. Thank you, broker. We got another $50 super chat from our guy Celestial.
Oh my goodness, oh my god.
It says #Pirate King Buggy. Buggy no diffs the verse.
With the awakened chop Adam split. It's gonna be crazy.
Oh my god. CD, bro.
Thank you so much, CD. We got another $2 from Big Bro Anwar. It says, Don Krieg gonna pull up soon. Conquers hockey dog. What?
Nah.
I'd love to see Geen again.
Yeah, the Geen copium is real, but the Don Krieg copium?
Yeah. I would have bringing all these people back, but he's not bringing back Geen, the one we want, you know?
I'm down to see Don Krieg again. If he had Conqueror's Hockey, I'd have a problem. I'd have more problems with that than I had for Kaku. And Awakening.
That's worse.
You know what I mean? Like, and I had some real vitriol for Oda for that one, bro. So, I'm not dropping the show. I'd take a break, yo. If Don Krieg pulled up with Conqueror, I'd take a break.
Oh, with Conqueror.
I would take a break.
It would be bad.
I would I'd be good.
Him coming back, maybe, nah. But with Conquerors, nah.
Do you guys remember when the 𝗵𝗄𝗄 were first like getting shown up and everyone was like, it's _𝗀. _𝗀 is one of the shoes. It's the exact same shoe.
I was one of those people. No, I'm kidding. It was in the spoiler chat and stuff. I was with it. Just wanted to see _𝗀 again, man. It was copium. We got another 35 Rand from Storm King. It says, "Hey yo, I didn't hear my name in the new members. Hashtag long time listener, first time member." Storm, I'm sorry, man. I get mixed up sometimes, bro. It's hard to keep track. But thank you for being a member and thank you for donating again. Shout out to you. Thank you for listening for a long time and enjoy all the emojis that come with membership.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, appreciate you, Storm.
We got another 45 crowns from our guy Void. It says, "My future sight was tingling, and I saw how fire episode 100 is going to be in 2 weeks. Yes, my observation is very good." Shout out to Void, man.
Yeah.
He's an OG. He's been with the channel for a long time, man. Much love to him.
Void is actually working on a special video for episode 100, so hopefully he conquers that. If not, then we just have to wait. But it's a pretty good one.
Okay.
Anything
Looking
Void
forward
does
to it,
is
Void.
fire, bro. Void has helped me out a lot with some thumbnails and some other work. So much love to Void. If y'all need work done and stuff in that light, hit up Void on Discord. He's super awesome. He's in Denmark though, so maybe get your timing right. We got another $50 super chat from Patrick Flannery. It says, hashtag Larry has good takes. New member, love you guys. You are all so funny. 50K soon, and I found you guys like 6 weeks ago, and I had to like 11K subs, and y'all had like 11K subs. Topped on topped. We're going to the top. Why did I struggle so much with that? But thank you so much. I know you're a new member because you said Larry has good takes. So if you've been here a while, you know he. No, I'm kidding.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for donating that much for your first time too. Thank you, thank you,
Thank you, Patrick.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
You guys got to do a cover. If you got, I don't know if any High School Musical stands are in the chat or whatever, but you got Bop to the Top. Do Top to the Top.
Top to the top.
Top to the top.
Yo, funny story. I've never seen High School Musical.
Same.
Really?
Yeah,
Same.
Wow. Wow.
Never seen Twilight either.
No, that's fine. My mom forced me to watch all of them when I was like, I don't know,
Your mom?
9. Yeah, I know, right? Weird, right? Weird. I remember, she doesn't remember this, and I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Why do you think I hate these movies so much?
Your mom, bro. Alright.
They were the it movies at the time.
Alright, shout out to Mama Kev, dog. Mom the OG.
Nah, it's Mama D.O.G.
Mama the OG. We did get another $5 super chat from Zuko Bane. It says, "Don't know if you know, on cover 1081, I think it's a hint that Sanji has Conqueror's Haki. He's the only one awake, and there's no women around. Sanji doesn't hurt women." We talked about this for a little bit last chapter, the review last week. So, but yeah, I didn't recognize that it had said COC King on the cover. I thought it just said cooking. I didn't think anything.
Well, Lawrence
of it.
hasn't been here, so
Yeah,
I don't know if he knows.
Did you see this?
I saw you guys talking about it.
Okay.
So I didn't realize it. Well, the one thing is, real quick. Who was in the picture? I didn't pay much attention to who was asleep in the picture. Was it people that would get knocked out?
It was all the main Straw Hats, like chilling.
All the men.
Yeah, all the
Hey, not like Sanji would knock them out with his conquerors.
But no, he's reading a book, and it said on the side.
Yeah.
So I read it. I thought it just said cooking. So I bypassed it like 2 seconds. But apparently it's a COC King with a crown.
Yeah.
So people are using this as a future highlight to Sanji getting Conqueror's Haki in the story. So how you feel about that, Law?
It's complicated because it's not like I don't want him to have it. I don't see him as it. I would have to be convinced of Sanji that he has that he has it. Like because I never viewed Sanji as weak-willed. But like the position that stand above others is this position of a king, a conqueror is able to conquer everything. When we first saw him on his ship, he didn't allude that he was a conqueror. You know, we getting maybe a little bit more of it now with his strong resolve for things, but I don't see him carrying a similar disposition as Zoro and Luffy. Honest truth, that's the thing.
I think him and Whole Cake, where he's on the table above his family, that was like the best agenda possible for Sanji Conquerors. It's like he's literally above literal kings and he's telling them what to do. He could save them. But like, I personally don't think Sanji will be a conqueror either. If he does, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be super sick. But I feel like Luffy and Zoro are more that vibe.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm conflicted on it. Lawrence was confused or whatever.
Shut up.
It could be some Zoro Sanji.
I just
shipping.
feel like I need to be convinced. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, thank you so much for the super chat. We did get another super chat from Red Haired Shanked. It says, longtime listener here to say, hashtag Larry has good takes. Shanked, you've been here long enough to know.
That's probably why he said that.
You know better, bro. Well, thank you, Shankdom.
All I know is Shankdom has taken a dub recently with the kid because he agrees with me. You know.
Listen, Shankdom, he's also a Celtics fan, so he's taking some dubs.
Yeah, I'm taking a huge L.
You're a
tonight,
Knicks
bro.
fan.
I know. I said he's taking a dub, bro. I'm giving Shankdom his love.
Oh, I thought you were throwing shade at him.
Nah.
Oh, all right.
I'm getting mad worried tonight. Embiid's out. We're gonna get crushed.
I thought Knicks big playoffs.
Yeah, bro. It's not looking great right now. We got another 35 Rand from Storm King. Storm, this is like 4 in a row. Thanks for the shout out. You don't know how much this means to me. Hashtag, could Larry call Kid a bum, please?
It's fun. I was about to do that, right?
Do you want a second? I could like push it over. We get some echo.
Look at me, man. Kid, he's a bum. That's it.
Yeah.
Storm, I hope you enjoyed that, man.
Shit's gonna be like, yo.
Shit literally super chatted for this moment not to take place. Sorry, Shin. Oh, man. We did get another £5 from Mr. Artist CJ. It says, Artistic CJ, I'm sorry. It says, Artistic J, why can't I read today? How would you feel if Rox was a Buggy-like character? It would explain why there was so much disorder on the crew. We have talked about this several times. The originator of this thought process, I feel to me anyway, or at least who's made it the most popular on YouTube, is Parvision, who's a great friend of the pod. We troll him for it. I actually subscribe to it a little bit. I'm like 50-50 on it. I can see it going either way. We've got major arguments with this guy here as well as that guy over there about it.
About what?
The Rocks being
Rocks.
Buggy potentially or Buggy-like character. But I can see it. If you haven't, Mr. Artist, definitely check out Parvision's video. It definitely breaks it down on a level that we just simply couldn't do on this pod. Although half of this pod probably doesn't agree with the analysis.
Par is a very intelligent man.
You know, as a surrogate Lionel.
Lionel also disagrees.
Well, I somewhat agree. Like,
there's no way you can.
No, because Blackbeard's clearly the Rock's parallel.
No, he's not.
Blackbeard isn't?
No.
Then who is? Is there one?
Luffy is more of a Rocks pirate than
But Luffy's Roger.
Yo, that's cool.
Oh, he's Bose.
He could be both, but
Okay.
Blackbeard just doesn't have anything that Rocks has had.
No, but he has the chaotic crew. He has all the high people who don't care about one another.
Yeah, the ship.
He doesn't have the ship.
I full on
Opposite
believe
back.
that Rox was a conqueror.
Oh, I agree.
Like full on. Like I there's almost like no doubt in my mind.
He wants to be
was.
king of the world, of course.
And he was literally just stated as Roger's greatest rival. Like we have
adversary.
Yeah, right. We have Whitebird who fought Roger a few times and they drew. Yeah, and lived longer than Rox. Yet wasn't counted as Roger's greatest adversary. Rox was.
Mm-hmm.
I think that speaks for itself.
I mean, it's not only that too, right? It's like, okay, so name another crew that had 3 conquerors on it that bent the knee to somebody else.
I guess that's valid.
I mean,
because then Luffy, it would be him, Zoro, and like maybe Sanji, maybe Jinbei.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then let's go even further. How many taboos has Blackbeard broken?
I mean, it depends on what you're talking, because he
does the murder pillage stuff.
He murked a crewmate. Like, that's a taboo. It's just it's not a world taboo though. You know what I mean?
Okay. So again, this is like the world we're talking about, right? Okay. So then we go even a step further. You think Kaido just names people he considers people who can hurt him that he considered Luffy in the league of?
I mean, yeah, he probably didn't.
And then he was just like, "Yo,
Blackbeard.
Rox is one of those people, even though he's Buggy. He's a Buggy-like character."
Oh no,
Kaido was young.
I'm not saying Buggy
Kaido was
is
young.
He was.
No,
You're very influenceable when you're young.
but
Sure.
dude, he wasn't that young. First of all,
like
and he was
17,
He was
19.
21.
I'm not.
When he joined the crew, you know.
But
He was on the crew for 4 or 5
Yeah,
years.
4 or 5 years.
4
and
or
also
5
too-
years of insulation.
But it was already taking out other pirates.
Insulation.
But listen, I want to ask you this. I want to ask you guys a question. Like we already know,
People low-key don't know that when they say that about Rox, they're disrespecting Mihawk.
Cool. You think I care, bro? I don't care, bro.
no, but like real quick, we know that even at that young age, we already see that this dude was taking out other pirates easy by himself. But you're trying to tell me what we see with Big Mom and what we see with Kaido. If Rox was a buggy dude like that weak, they're not killing him. We saw Kaido kill his boy Orochi. You know, like as soon as he became unuseful.
Not even that, Lawrence. Kaido's whole crew is based upon strength and beating one another out for a position.
That is a very Rox thing to do.
Listen, again, I subscribe to the theory in jest because I think it's amazing.
No, because you're a troll.
Listen, it's amazing.
You're saying you're a troll.
I like trolling.
You like troll things.
But there is a world where Rox was insulated by Whitebeard. Whitebeard is stronger than Big Mom and Kaido were. If he's protecting Rox, are they going to fight Whitebeard to take Rox out?
Imagine Whitebeard's like, "Yo, Buggy, become my captain."
So I got into this argument with Lionel, right? And I don't want to take too long on this. We gotta get back to calls. But I got into this argument with Lionel. Is Whitebeard not an honorable pirate?
We're not doing Davy back fights, bro. Because Davy back fights don't matter.
They were originated on this island. You can't ignore that.
Yo, you
can't ignore that.
It's got to be what happens.
You can't listen. You cannot completely discount it as a possibility.
Yes,
That's
you
all I'm
can.
saying. No,
Yes, you can.
Because you can't.
Because when it comes to people who are conquerors themselves, that no longer matters because they have to. You're telling me right now that Whitebeard, Big Mom, and Kaido would have to find a purpose high enough to sacrifice their own goals in order to make Rox achieve his own. And the only time we've ever seen somebody that has done that has had conquerors, is somebody like Zoro. But he had to have complete faith in Luffy in order to make that happen. And that is not something that somebody like Buggy would be able to achieve from people who have conquerors, because they know who he truly is as a person. Other people who have conquerors to other people who have conquerors know that they overall need to find a purpose that they align with, and that goal has to be greater than probably themselves. They have to be emotionally invested. They have to be willing to be led by this person. What's happening with Mihawk and Crocodile right now? We don't even know if they have conquerors, but let's assume that Mihawk does. Do they just go, "Yo, we're gonna make Buggy Pirate King"? No, they will never do that.
No, but
they don't respect him.
But to the world, this is the problem. Y'all speak about Rox as if we know we don't know.
Okay,
we don't know.
Let me give you
Larry.
another piece of evidence.
I can give you a whole rundown of how it could have happened.
No,
Rox challenges Whitebeard to a drinking contest and says, "Yo, if you lose, you're on my crew now," or in a Davy back fight, whatever. Whitebeard would honor the results of that duel. Because he's a man. He's an honorable pirate. So now,
Would
I
Kaido?
got White...
Would Kaido?
And
maybe not.
Hold on. Would Kaido?
Maybe
was
not.
like, what, 15?
Kaido was young.
No, Kaido was 21. He was on the ship for 4 years.
At the last time.
Yes.
He was not 26 when it
No,
ended.
he joined when he was 17.
I know.
That's
What
right.
I'm saying is, if I see Whitebeard, who is this super strong, crazy caliber person, who looks at Rox as a brother or whatever, I'm gonna look at Rox in the same light. You can be influenced in that way.
So
Big Mom is an opportunist. If being on this ship is beneficial to me, I will do that. Y'all act as though these people straight up just bent the knee to Rox. They very may well have. We don't know. It's all Par Vision and me are trying to tell y'all.
It's probably the same thing as Blackbeard.
So
like, they get something from Blackbeard if they join Blackbeard. But if Blackbeard doesn't pan
Blackbeard
out, they're
literally
done.
spoke to that in the last chapter.
Okay, so
being here could be beneficial
The
to you.
agendas. It's all about the agenda.
Okay, so I'll say this. So you have to be honorable, right?
I'm saying Whitebeard is. I'm saying that's an avenue for Whitebeard specifically.
Okay, but that doesn't like you're saying 3 people. We're not just talking about one. We're talking about 3 overall people.
It's a domino effect.
If Kaido, like Big Mom was told by Rox to tell Kaido to come here, and she obeyed him and said, "Yo, young guy, like, yo, Rox wants to see you." Yo, is that happening with Buggy and Mihawk? Like, if he tells Mihawk or Crocodile to go tell somebody on the crew to come here, you think they're gonna listen to him?
Probably not. No.
Because of a Davy back fight?
Probably not. No.
Let's move on. Because it's pure nonsense.
Listen, man.
Pure nonsense. It's specifically, it's just trolling, and people who do this clearly don't know anything.
I think the main problem with this idea is that Rox, we assume, is strong and really, really strong. Like, I agree, like, with what Lawrence said. He has conquerors. He probably does, right? Buggy, he's a meme. You know, Buggy's a meme. But I think what they're saying is the position of the characters and the way their sort of dynamic of the crew is set up. Now, like you're saying, is Mihawk or Crocodile going to follow Buggy's orders? Never. That'll never happen. Because they don't care. And they think they're better than Buggy. They think they're significantly better than Buggy.
You know what's crazy? People will downplay Rox, but then upplay Emu. And it's like, okay, what does Emu have, Seb? That you give all this strength and all this credit to this person, right?
I never said Emu was strong.
Come on, bro.
I never did.
Right.
I said he could be.
Just move on, because you're right.
I said he could be.
You're capping.
It's not cap. When have I definitively said Emu was strong?
No, we don't got to get into it.
When have I done that?
You're good, bro.
You're just gonna lie on stream?
No, it's not gonna lie on stream because you have said you've given.
I said he could be, just like Rox could be.
You've given more credit to Emu than you do Rox for no reason, and you've done this ever since Rox was debuted. You've always tried to say that he was this false character, which he wasn't. Because every time I tried to say, "Yo,"
I just said he could be. I said y'all are running away with this narrative.
No,
when we got one chapter.
Let me finish.
Let me finish.
He's always tried to downplay the fact that Rox was in charge of 3 conquerors who then went into the next generation and ruled the world coincidentally with the world government to the point that they wouldn't even step in Wano with an admiral. But yet you've always downplayed them. But when it comes to Emu, who has barely 4 panels to his or her name, you've always given them much more credit. Why? Because they're in charge.
Because they're living Rox's whole life. Like they're living the life Rox
Cool. So does Stelly. He lives a royal life.
No, he's not.
He's in charge of our. He's in charge of the
king of the world.
Yo, but he's
not the king of the world.
But the difference is when we talk about hierarchies and royalties, we have to assume that Stelly has grandiose power against the Goa Kingdom, right? If he wants to summon somebody and go to war with somebody, he could do so. But is he necessarily strong? No. But you still give all this hype to this person.
I said there's potential there. There's potential that he's the final villain. Okay. All I'm saying is this. Y'all give Rox all this love, and it's cool. I'm not mad at that. Y'all can do that. I'm just saying there is an avenue that he's not who y'all think he is. And beyond that, he fumbled I don't want to say the easiest bag, but he fumbled at the highest level anybody in the show has ever fumbled.
Damn, but you gotta be at the highest level ever in order to fumble.
He fumbled it though.
Right,
but he
that's
fumbled
crazy.
it though. But yo, listen, y'all are giving him credit for fumbling and not giving Roger credit for overcoming it though.
Oh my! Are you crazy? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You put Rox over Roger.
Yo, if the Knicks went to the championship game and they lost, are you gonna be like, yo, they lost, so they're just not real? They're not a real championship team?
I would give the team that beat them more credit.
It's like what Giannis said.
You put Rox over Roger.
Yo, Roger had a team. Roger was KD and was like, yo, let me go to the Warriors.
No, he didn't. That's not what happened.
That's basically what happened.
God, that's not what happened.
He linked up with Garp.
Oh my God, bro.
He linked up with Garp. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it with Caban. He couldn't do it with Rayleigh. He couldn't do it with anybody that was on his squad.
This is the problem. We don't know what happened. We don't.
Okay, so the fact is, right, and this is the same thing that it's the same energy that people had towards Shanks. They always claim Shanks didn't have feats, but when we went off of the actual feats that he does have because people wanted to discredit him, then they got proved stupid because everything we've ever said about Shanks turned out to be right. Because he has shown things. Rox has shown if he's in charge of 3 people who are conquerors, he is a conqueror himself, and when they were fighting against each other, they never fought him. And you think just because of a Davy back fight, that's the reason why they didn't do so. You are out of your mind. Out of your mind.
It all depends. Listen, what you're saying could very well be true. I'm just saying we don't know for a fact.
We got any more super chats, bro?
We
got any more super chats?
I'll say one more thing. I'll say one more thing. Do we see Buggy in the front lines?
Yo.
We saw Rox in the front lines. Buggy's not going in the front lines.
Silhouette, bro.
No, so what? So what? We saw we saw
gotta think
something
about-
of
all right.
Roger legit on the front lines with them. I do not see any scenario where they're fighting a strong power just like Roger was, and Buggy is stepping up in the front lines in front of them, taking on their captain.
Because Buggy and Crocodile.
Impel Down Escape.
Dude,
He literally did that.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm not. We don't gotta spend too much time.
Was
on
Bucky
this,
trying to
bro.
fight Whitebeard?
No, not really.
Okay, then.
But Lawrence,
That's case closed.
if you watch the Impel Down Escape, was Buggy not on the front lines with Crocodile and Das Bones on that and Jinbei on that little
The
the
whale
boat?
shark,
boat?
yeah.
But
Anybody could took a picture of that and been like, "Yo,
Wow.
when they landed,
So, but
Buggy was
who
on the front lines with Luffy and
who's in front
Crocodile
of
and."
them? Who's in front of them when they're fighting? Because we're talking about Roger
But
here.
Lawrence, you're
and
talking
Garp
about
here,
a silhouette
and
of
their
a still
piracy.
shot one time.
Of the actual battle. We just saw Garp bleeding up with his tire. We just saw
I
of
hope
the
the
actual
guy y'all
battle.
are right, bro. I really do. I really do. Because I don't know what it would do to y'all if y'all were wrong.
I mean, listen, Oda's lied before, but if he did something like this, it would literally make me hate One Piece. Because Lawrence is completely fighting.
No.
With Mihawk or Crocodile, the way that
Did we
Rox
just-
and Rox was in front of all of them.
Yeah.
Bro, did we see him throw a punch? Like, no. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all.
Again,
Y'all are
no.
basing it off a
Yo,
silhouette.
I love you.
Like, come on.
Again, it's the same energy, bro. They're so wrong, bro.
can't.
They're
Listen,
so
I'm
wrong.
not even saying I
I'm not even-
believe it. I'm saying it could be true. Y'all are saying it just can't be.
See, this is where like I do praise Pars so heavily, privately and openly, but there's times where like this does work against the masses, and they believe him so much that it feels good to believe in something so dumb.
Wow.
And like, it's like I hate that he's done this, but I also respect it because like it has the community talking, and that's the fun of it, right? Like that's the fun. But overall, like you're gonna create people like Sebastian, and that's just gonna happen, right? And you just need to accept it. And this is why what happened with Kid happened. Everybody got proved wrong because they believed in something else that just wasn't true, and there was enough evidence to support, probability-wise, that it wasn't true for the longest. But they didn't want to believe it, right, Lawrence?
Mm-hmm.
They continued to believe their own nonsense. So it's cool. Let them rock.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. All right. We'll move on.
Respect Par's greatness.
Shout-
I truly do.
Shout out to Park. We got another $5 from Muppets35. It says, you mentioned the 6 admirals, but where do you rank Kong in the strongest?
6 admirals.
We were talking about, Kuzan, Aokiji. Oh, I said Aokiji already. Kizaru, Akainu, Fujitora, Green Bull. Like this, I guess you would count Sengoku in there, whatever.
So,
Where, I guess you count Garp as well. Where do you guys rank Kong?
I rank him high up there. This dude was Fleet Admiral before Sengoku. He's even a higher position and still active, which you think he was retired. No, he's still active in the Marines in a higher position of the Fleet Admirals where he legit talks to the Gorosei and everything. Honestly, from the age-wise, you could kind of argue if we already compared Roger and Garp, right? As in Roger's time, Garp was his dude. And then I believe what we saw here in the Marineford War, you had Sengoku and Whitebeard. Because he was familiar with... So Whitebeard was familiar with how Sengoku kind of schemes and strategist-wise and does things. You can argue, right? I believe that Rox was older than Roger, an older generation. You could kind of believe that Khan was part of the Marines. Not saying they fought each other. I don't know. But I'm saying part of that generation that Rox was. Because I believe Rox was the older generation, and so was Kong. So it could be like that could have been a rival, but we know nothing of Kong and the history of what he did. But we do know the seas back then, what was talked about, what Johnson Jao would say, around Roger time coming up, was actually more dangerous than the seas that Luffy and them are experiencing now. And Kong would be a Marine admiral in those seas fighting pirates. So I hold Kong around the level of the the 3 OGs. It should have been you could think about we had Akainu, Kizaru, Aokiji. I believe before that, I don't count movie, so I don't really, but I believe Kong, Sengoku, Garp. Those were the 3.
So technically, we saw Suru
Suru,
coming up in
sure.
that era.
Yeah,
so
that's fine.
Kong is the era before that.
Yeah.
I would say that he was surpassed by Sengoku and Garp.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna argue.
So I still have Garp as the strongest Marine of all time.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fair.
So
I just hold.
If I had to rank them prime for prime, everybody's in their prime. I'd probably go Garp, Sengoku, Akainu, because Aokiji, Kong is probably somewhere in between them there.
I completely agree right there. I think a really good analogy, since Larry did a basketball analogy earlier, Kong is like Wilt Chamberlain in the 100-point game, because we have no idea what's going to happen. Maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. But, he's one of those guys, and it's like undebatable, but we haven't seen anything from him.
Right.
So that's why I agree. Like, Garp and Sengoku, they're like the ones. I do put Akainu and Kuzan, like, probably above Garp, honestly, because I feel like they're more emphasized, you know what I mean? And Garp is still that guy, obviously. But, obviously there's a strong possibility he might die in the story, so I'm thinking he's probably going to be weaker than them. If not, that would be even crazier if he is stronger than them. And then I'd probably put Sengoku and then Kong. Sengoku below Kainu and Kuzan. And,
I was just going all prime, but word.
He's saying rank the admirals?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he
said rank? I thought you were saying where does Kong fit in that?
Yeah, but he was like, where do you rank Kong in the strongest? That's what he said.
But Larry asking all the admirals. I think he's just like...
He said you mentioned the 6 admirals, but where do you rank Kong? So, like, all of them.
I mean, he has... In order to become an admiral, you have to have basically everything except conquerors. So, I can't tell you. All I know is Roger never said, yo, bring, Kong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bring me Kong.
Yeah, he was always like Sengoku and Garp.
But that's because also he was fleet admiral at the time, so he wouldn't be sent out. Like, you see how Kaino was sitting at home?
Yeah.
I mean, at the base, Kong was in that position where you're not in the front lines anymore.
Yeah, but like Roger around that time is like super crazy strong. And I think that if anything, he was the top of the line at that point. So he had to bring like Garp and Sengoku in order to like compete or like Whitebeard. But Kong should have been at least mentioned a little bit. So I can't just give praise to Kong like that, but I will say he was fleet admiral. Yeah. Like the dude is above the admirals at that point, right? Mm-hmm. So I just don't know who the admirals are. I just know that by his position, we know we got to give him credit for that.
Right.
Yeah, Prime Kong was probably crazy.
How many super chats we got so we can get back to calls?
A few. I'll try to be quick. We got 11 New Zealand dollars from Matthew Humby. It says, "Hey yo, I freaking love you, brothers." Thank you. We got another $2 from Michael Barber. It says, "Could Sanji hit women with advanced Rio? #W Larry." No.
He wouldn't.
He wouldn't.
Thank you. Yeah, he wouldn't.
We got another $10 from It's Beaker. It says, "Larry has good takes, except on Garp. As a parent, I won't ruin everything I work for to put my kids in a good spot for them to do the total opposite. He let Luffy pass. That's enough. #Brook Gang."
Brook Gang, wow.
Yeah, let me know when somebody's... No, I'm not going to say that. That sounded crazy.
He was about to go real dark. I can see it here.
You guys are dark.
Shout out to Beaker's children. Okay?
Yeah, God bless.
We got another $2 from Rafael Negron. It says, "New theory for Nico fruit." I'm probably Nika. "Would love to share. By all means, in the comments or join our Discord or call in. We try to get the calls again." We got another $2 from Ryunosuke. It says, "What did Zoro say to Chopper in Long Ring Long Land?" So maybe, probably in reference to
being a man and being honorable.
He said you're a munch.
Jeez,
munching on that rumble fruit.
I'm trying to see if we have any more. And 1 second. No, that's it. So we can pray up for calls again, Marv.
Yes, Marv, throw up the number. Thank you, everybody, for all the super chats. Greatly appreciate it. And for all the comments.
Ooh, then we got another super chat.
Hey, what's going on? This is Larry from That One Piece Talk. Who are you and how are you?
It's JT, man. I'm doing good.
Hey, the boy. What's up, Jacob?
Yo, y'all all have y'all share of bad takes, but this week it's Seb's turn.
Yo, what I do, bro?
First of all, I haven't been tuning in too much to the stream, but I just thought you to hear some ridiculous takes. So shout out to my man Lawrence. Go to top team, man. You know I love you.
What's going on, GT?
But back to Seb. Bro, you're not watching the same show. You're not reading the same manga that we reading. Because there is no way that you think that Rocks is as fraudulent as you're saying. And you bringing up Buggy. Here's the difference between Buggy and Rocks. Look at Buggy's crew, not the Cross Guild. Look at his actual crew. A bunch of weak-ass dudes.
Language!
That can
You
hold
know
on.
better, JT.
Weak dudes. You know what? I'm sorry, Lawrence. But weak dudes, some dudes that control the line. Like, no one of Buggy's crew even has hockey. Like, we don't even know. The difference between him and Rocks is leading a crew of legit conquerors. If you're going to be a conqueror and be under somebody, the amount of respect for their power that you have to have is ridiculous. So for you to come up here and say that Rocks, Rocks is in the front line, but he never threw a punch. Bro, what are we talking? Like, aren't you the same dude that says that Dragon's top 5 right now?
Yeah.
Aren't you that same dude?
Go ahead, JT.
Hold on. But JT, if somebody told me Dragon could be a fraud, I'd be like, all right, you can think that. I would push back, but I wouldn't be like, nah, it's not possible. It's not possible.
Listen, that's cool. That's cool for you to say that. But the problem is, you with your logic, Sebastian, with your logic, you cannot say that Dragon is a possible top 5 and then say Rocks is a fraud.
JT, understand this. Understand this right now. I don't think Rocks is a fraud. I said he could be. That it's possible that he is. Larry's arguing that it's not a possibility, period, and I'm pushing back on that.
It's not. And I just can't take the disrespect toward Rocks.
How I just see it, to me, it's like I'm a conductive reasoning type of person. Deductive reasoning tells us that Rocks is not, because to me, Sebastian, I feel like, was it possible for Gold Roger to be a fraud? When we heard nothing about him, that he was a pirate kid.
It wasn't to me.
Okay, it wasn't.
No.
How is this any different? Besides the fact the title of Pirate King, he's legit the greatest adversary to the Pirate King. How is this different?
There's so much here. We don't have time for all that, bro.
I feel like
watch Power Vision's video, because I still feel like you haven't seen it yet, Lawrence. Have you?
I did not.
Okay.
Excuses.
Listen, I'm not here
I
to
saw Dak Sake say the One Piece was an afro, and I know that's wrong as hell. I don't have to see the video itself.
I don't know.
Why Dak catches straight?
Listen, no. The thing is, you can connect dots in a series that's been running for 25 years to anything. I can say the One Piece is a microphone and try to compare it to a Denden Mushi, and somehow you would believe it. Because there's so much info and a bunch of information that I could connect together to make you believe that. But is it true? Hell no!
Man.
But there's a possibility.
No, there's no possibility.
As long as there's a 1% chance.
Yeah, shout outs to Dak, bro. Shout outs to Dak.
Yeah, whatever, bro.
Why Dak catch a stray, bro? I appreciate that.
Well, it's because the idea is so, interesting and ludicrous that when he does do it and connects it, you end up believing it.
Just like Gear 5.
So it's like, Gear 5 wasn't ludicrous to think of.
It was just the most ludicrous power in the world, to be fair.
Well, I wasn't talking about that standard, but I was just talking about the fact that, overall, it's just so out of line that if he connected a couple dots and started to make sense with it, you'd be like, oh yeah, it might be a possibility. There's no way the One Piece would ever be an afro. It would be so ridiculously stupid that we would look at One Piece and be like, this is not the greatest show on Earth. It's just not.
Depends. It all depends. I'm just more open-minded, I guess.
Again, bro.
No, Seb, you can't be quoting Parr's video. Parr literally has a following because he says the most outlandish One Piece takes anybody's ever heard.
The other piece of this is Parr's. That's only a section of Parr's video. He's not even saying that he believes that. He's saying that based off the information that we have right now, the vague amount and what the details are and the parallels he sees to current times, that it could be a possibility. Mm-hmm. Again, watch Parr's video, man. Y'all will be enlightened.
To me, it just kills it, though. Buggy will never be recognized as Luffy's greatest adversary.
Lawrence, Buggy is currently recognized as a Yonko on the seas. You get what I'm saying?
But not in
right
comparison to
now,
Luffy.
Lawrence,
I think
that makes him a Luffy adversary right now.
I think Buggy is like this because of Luffy. Because if Luffy didn't interact with Buggy in Orangetown, Buggy wouldn't have followed Luffy to Logtown. Buggy wouldn't have followed Luffy back to Grand Line. He's like, oh, so nostalgic. I'm going back to the Grand Line. And then he's on the first half. Then he gets arrested solely because he went to the Grand Line to follow Luffy, and then he gets reunited with Luffy in Impel Down. Then he becomes this great, big, figure because of Luffy and him. Well, obviously he wanted to break out, but he decided, let me work this so I can get some way out of here that makes me look better. Yep. But it's all because of Luffy. Luffy is the reason that not just Buggy, but also Crocodile, and I would even say Mihawk, are all like the guys right now. Because without Luffy getting Zoro, where would Mihawk be right now? He would probably be bored out of his mind. Without Luffy defeating Crocodile, Crocodile would never have this resurgence in himself and belief in himself. Like, Luffy has literally made the Cross Guild.
Okay. All right, let me say one more. This is the last thing I'm going to say on this. All right. Because it's not like the world view. Who do we hear from?
Exactly. That
it was said that he was Roger's greatest rival. Was it the world or was it one person?
It was Sengoku.
Sengoku. What is Sengoku?
He said...
Fleet Admiral.
Fleet Admiral.
Hold on. He said Rox was his greatest and first and perhaps most great adversary.
Buggy was Luffy's first adversary.
Right. It's what again.
No, okay.
Watch the video.
Yo, what I'm saying is
Har will do the breakdown.
No, I'm saying right now, right? But we know that Sengoku's strong. He's a Conqueror's user, right? You trying to tell me that Sengoku's never met Rox? You tell me he judged his strength. It was like, oh yeah, this dude is nothing. No, he recognized that he was strong. He knows how great Roger was. He said this person rivals Roger, right? That it was like the world believed that he was that. No, because the world believes anything because of what the world is. It was recognized, right? That you could say this coming from another Conqueror's user, right?
But Lawrence, what Sengoku was trying to do when he broke that information down was let them know that the two people that were under Rox combining strength together is a scary enough thing that we're going to have to deal with in the present day. Rox was the connection to say, hey, these people have been a crew together in the past. So this isn't beyond the pale. You know what I'm saying?
So the reason why they were scared for even two of these people to come together is because of the past incidents that included them being under him, which we knew they were a terrorist organization. And not only that, Buggy, as we've seen since he's become Yonko, hasn't left that tent. But what was Rox and crew doing? They were literally going to different islands and destroying those islands.
See,
again,
I can't rebuke this right now. Because of limitations of the show right now.
This is where it comes down to.
You know what I'm saying?
I've been trying so hard for like an hour.
So this is where it comes down to. It comes down literally to narration and theory versus feats and accomplishments. And you guys tend to always lean towards narrative, which heavily sometimes disagrees with you at the end of the day. And then you put nothing on credits and feats and accomplishments. And that's the main issue of the One Piece community.
Not true.
And this is why...
That's not true.
Okay.
I will admit I do that because, for example, when people were so hooked on like Kid being Yonko, I didn't believe it for a second. People were like, Law's Yonko, Kid's Yonko. I'm like, no, Buggy's Yonko. That's clearly the Yonko candidate. There's no other candidate besides Luffy and Buggy.
But this is the
problem. Why did you hold on. Why did you believe that?
Because Oda has built up the meme of Buggy rising up in the narrative, and Buggy has had more influence, especially with the fall of Doflamingo, and Buggy has been getting more and more popular, more infamous, more like Luffy. Buggy has basically made the Cross Guild into like a Grand Fleet size thing. His influence is unmatched.
All right, so what you just listed were feats and accomplishments. And you
but it's also the narrative.
Yeah, but you use very little narrative.
Oh, really?
Yes,
I thought
because you know what it takes to be a Yonko. It doesn't just take strength, right? It takes the influence. It takes the strength of army. It takes territorial means as well. Like all these things have to be in place for Buggy to even be a Yonko, even though he doesn't have the strength. So you immediately...
I thought your feats were like power feats. That's why people were like, Kid's gonna be a Yonko. And I was like, no.
No. So that's what you did. You literally went for a second. Even though I know Buggy's a meme, he also has all this other stuff. Yeah. And that's what we're saying about Rox, is that he had all these other things.
No, he definitely did.
He definitely did, but it goes even further because we have actual...
He was actually strong.
We have witnesses. Yeah. Kaido himself, Sengoku himself, we got Roger himself, we have... there's so many people, and this is why the Garp situation happened, when people were like, yo, Garp's a fraud. And we knew that he wasn't. Yeah. Why? Based upon what he already accomplished. Mm-hmm. So just because a newspaper can be adjusted doesn't mean that that's the end all be all. Like, that's crazy to me. And JT, you was killing Sebastian, bro. Go ahead, man. JT, my bad,
Yeah, bro. I just can't this comparison of Buggy to Rock. Like, y'all are like, not y'all, because some of y'all spitting, but Sebastian specifically is stretching like crazy. First of all, you said Rox was Roger's first and greatest adversary. That relates to Buggy. Buggy wasn't even his first adversary. Just to knock that down, there was like Alvida and like Axan Morgan. So like, what are we talking about with that?
Alvida's a subordinate of Buggy, bro. Alvida's literally a subordinate of Buggy.
Not at the time when they fought.
I know, but I'm saying like in the present.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need y'all to actually watch Par Vision's video, bro. That's all I need. I'm not speaking on it no more. Yeah, I need to watch Par Vision's video and get back to
man,
me.
If I hear rocks related to Buggy one more time, Seb.
What are you gonna do, JT? What are you gonna do to me, bro? You're gonna call up and complain about it?
I'm gonna come back in here, bro. I'm gonna have Lawrence on you, bro.
Listen, bro.
I'm gonna stick Lawrence on you, bro.
I will say this. If it was so easy to discredit Rox, I wouldn't need a 30-minute video to discredit Rox.
It's not discrediting him.
All right. JT, man, you've been wonderful today for once. Congratulations.
Hey, man.
Speak your truth.
Man.
Speak your
Love
truth.
you, bro.
Love you too, man.
Kev, great to see you, bro. W guest, man.
Oh my God, thank you.
Well, hey, man. Lawrence, love you too, man. You my goat.
Hey, love you too, JT. Appreciate you.
Seb, I got nothing to say to you.
We gonna link up when.
For anybody that wants to know too, to think that we're hating on Par, we're not. I think Par is one of the most incredibly talented people ever, and I respect him probably more than anybody does. So, don't get that twisted and start thinking that I hate Par. No, I actually love the guy.
No, Par's our dude. Just,
Yeah,
we
would have never had him 4 times on the show.
Yeah.
He's a monster in the kitchen.
Hey, what's going on? This is Larry from that One Piece Talk. Who are you and how are you?
What's up, fellas? It's Red Haired.
Hey, Red Haired. What's up, man?
Shanked them, bro. You confident tonight?
Oh, hell yeah.
What's up, Shanked?
So I gotta get in on this rock conversation.
Oh my God.
Just real quick. Larry, please don't jump down my throat.
Pause.
Oh, wait, in Philly we don't do
I thought we didn't pause in Philly.
Yo.
So the thing, I don't think Rox is a Buggy-esque character in the sense that he's not strong. He is obviously strong in some way. Sorry, I'm in a parking lot. There's a car alarm going off.
No, don't worry about it. We don't hear it.
But I do think, if you look at Kaido, Big Mom, and Whitebeard, when they were young, they all had a thing about them that a person who was both strong and manipulative could manipulate to get them on his side. So he would have to be strong enough so that they wouldn't just be like, screw this guy, I'm just going to kill him. But he also doesn't have to be, say, stronger than Roger. Because if you look at Whitebeard from Sphinx Island, a very poor place, a place that he felt he had to protect. If Rox already is pretty strong and has a strong crew, and says to Whitebeard, join my crew or I'm going to destroy Sphinx Island, that's a good reason to join the crew. And say Kaido was a slave. Kaido wanted to be free. Rox can offer him that and the protection to say, like, no one else is going to enslave you. You're with my crew, nobody's taking you. Big Mom, always looking for acceptance. Looking for a place where, like, for instance, if you're on Rox's crew and you have a temper tantrum, there's other people here that can deal with you. You're not going to be, like, ostracized for doing that. So I just think there's, like Seb has been saying, I think there are avenues where, not that he's Buggy, that he's just weak, but that he's not, like, top one in the verse with a bullet.
That was an amazing analysis. I thoroughly really enjoyed that. And I think that kind of goes to Larry's point about him being a Luffy kind of character with the way you're sort of... he's not manipulating the people to join him. It's like he's sort of, convincing them like, hey, you will be free. You'll be welcome here. And he wants to be king of the world where everyone can kind of, well, presumably,
Well, it could go either way, really. It could be, like... Oh, I can't talk about that. It would be kind of, it could either be straight up manipulating, like in the Whitebeard situation. That's basically extortion. That's basically just saying, like, you care about this thing, I'm going to destroy it unless you do what I say. we don't know, many things about the Rock's pirate crew. So that I could be wrong on that. There could be a timeline issue with that. But the point stands that we saw the backstories of these people. These three people share similarities. They're Yonko, they're conquerors. They also have very tragic backstories. And that's a connecting factor that puts them all on the same crew as well. So I just think that has to be something that matters in how they all linked up. It doesn't make sense to me that Oda would show us these, bad things that happen to Kaido and these tragedies that happen to Big Mom, and Whitebeard, not necessarily a tragic backstory, but like a emphasis on Sphinx Island and how it was poor and how he wanted to protect it. Those things matter just as much as them being conquerors if we're talking narratively. Obviously not, in a power sense.
So what I will say is this. You can say all those things and they would absolutely mean exactly what you're trying to say, right? But this is the one thing, and I've said this more than a couple times. There has been nobody in the entire show who has had the dream of becoming the ruler of the world. And we know that due to willpower and due to ʍ𝗏𝗁, there are paths that are more perilous than others, right? When you want to become the king of the world, you're going to be bigger than the pirate king. You're going to be bigger than the world's strongest swordsman. And at this point in time, even if we wanted to point it out to somebody like Blackbeard, he still doesn't want to become the ruler of the world.
Could I push back a little bit?
Go ahead.
So I agree with you in a broad sense, but if you want to be, say, Luffy's dream, I would actually argue, is more difficult than wanting to be king of the world, because what he really wants is for everyone to be free. And so that's more difficult than just controlling everyone. Giving everyone freedom is a more difficult task. So I don't necessarily agree that wanting to be king of the world is just the top ambition that is going to clock all the others. I think it depends on what your definition of that is.
Well, here's the thing. Luffy's necessarily not trying to topple celestial dragons. He's not trying to topple the world government.
Not in his mind, but the effective thing that would happen if he achieves his dream is that.
Yes, but again, he first wants to just become free and just have the ability to roam the seas if he wants to, right? He doesn't know what it takes to do such things. Like, he doesn't know the extent of his dream, so he's just fighting towards something that seems never ending. But ultimately, when he becomes the king of the pirates, that's when he finds the One Piece. That piece of the dream is already done. We don't know what the other dream is, right? We just know that it includes freedom, and he believes becoming the Pirate King grants you the most freedom on the sea. Where Rocks literally was like, I'm going to take over the entire world, celestial dragons included, and I can do whatever I truly want with that. And he was, as far as we know, the closest to doing something like that.
That's total free, and I get that I'm extrapolating on Luffy's dream, and we don't actually know what Luffy's dream is. But that ambition is for you to be free. You would be the only person who is totally free in that scenario because you rule the world. In what I believe we are seeing of Luffy's dream, it's going to be phrased in like a childish way, but the effective meaning of it is going to be, I want everyone to be free. That's just a higher ambition. It just is.
It's debatable. It's very debatable.
All I know is completely off topic, I guess, but I was the only person on this podcast that said Buggy was going to be a Yonko.
On this podcast. Okay. I was like, wow.
And Kev.
I thought I was slaying.
No, Buggy was a Yonko.
And Lionel.
I know you're
Lionel
losing when you're trying to take Buggy
No,
W's.
Buggy dubs all day, bro.
I have a little pushback to what you said. Right here.
Yeah.
Just that, for example, for what I've seen with the show, and me and Lionel talk about this a lot, and I guess me and Lionel have a different perspective on like Conquerors wise, but from that, just the tackling on the part you said, like manipulation thing, have we seen that in a way to gain any Conquerors? You know, because I feel like what we shown here, gaining Conquerors on your side, what we saw is special, right? Like, for example, Roger was like his right-hand man who was actually loyal to you. Like, that's your partner. That's your friend. That's the person who, like, legit is you. Like, we see with Luffy and Zoro, right? We don't see everyone that has it. It's actually very, very rare. You know, that you have that you gained a conqueror to actually follow you and recognize you that's my captain, right? That's like Zoro.
But couldn't you... Sorry.
Yeah, no, real quick. So that's why Zoro had like got angry at Luffy about the whole Usopp thing because he's like, this is so I chose you to be my captain, and you're not captaining right. You're allowing someone to disrespect you, and like we're not playing pirates here, right? So what we're showing here is like the reason I'm bringing this up is like we have Kaido as a prime example, right? He didn't have one conquerors on his side, even his own daughter, right?
And Whitebeard didn't want any conquerors
on his side because
but he wasn't offering them an avenue to fulfill the will that is the genesis of their conqueror.
See,
like it's just an entirely different situation. Like I'm not even saying these guys, because clearly they didn't bend the knee to him. They did. Like, who was it? Well, one of them warned Kaido about rocks being dangerous. Was it Whitebeard? I don't recall. Like they clearly didn't, just love him and trust him the way Zoro loves and trusts Luffy. They were getting something out of the deal. They were either afraid to die or they were getting something out of the deal.
No, yeah. They definitely, to me, I believe that they all had their own agenda. But the reason why I'm saying this is because, right, conquerors, if you challenge their conquerors, they're going to clash against you. That's why I say, like, with Kaido, why he wasn't able to get anyone, because he didn't do it in a way to become their friend. I believe that's what they show is, like, that's how you gain a conquerors. Like, Luffy, potentially, we know he got Zoro, but Ace and Luffy potentially could have got Yamato because the way they approached Yamato. Right? If you like, for example, the main thing me and Sebastian get in the argument is about the Ace situation. Why did Ace leave the Whitebeard's crew? Right? It's because Whitebeard made a decision that Ace heavily disagreed with. Right? Now it affects his conquerors. Like he felt strongly about this, and then Ace left because Whitebeard, in Ace's eyes, chose to do something that he disagreed with. And I can tell you the reason I'm saying this because, like, for example, Whitebeard didn't listen to Ace. And now you can see that same exact situation going back to Zoro and Luffy. Do you think if Luffy did not listen to Zoro, does Zoro stay on the crew? He does not. Because the way you're captaining goes against my conquerors, right?
But that's an agreement between, not an agreement, but that's a relationship between them that is particular.
Yeah, I know. But the reason I'm going is, now I'm putting it all together now. Remember on the rooftop where Kaido said, you guys should all just join me, right? Luffy says, heck, like we would ever join like you, right? Because the way he's dealing with it, I'm thinking it's like trying to break people's wills. You attacking people's homeland, you're attacking their conquerors where they're going to fight. Like the natural response for conquerors is to fight for their freedom, fight what they believe in, fight what they stand for, fight for their ambition, what they believe what should be done, right? You would, like for Whitebeard situation, if you went, no, because I could see more like what Rocks probably did, was like since Whitebeard he's probably older than Rocks. I mean, younger than Rocks. He helped Whitebeard save his island by putting it underneath his flag, and then they negotiated, and then somehow he got Whitebeard to join his crew.
But either way, you can spin that the other way, where like, okay, my island is under your Big Mom and Kaido do this too, where it's like, this place is under my protection, but that also means that you're beholden to me. Like I could take you guys out anytime. No one else is coming to help you.
That's if you're going about a malicious way, but if you do it that way where the conquerors feels like suppressed, like you're trying to suppress their will or like break their will, they're going, what I've seen with conquerors, they fight against you every single time. Mm-hmm. Odin, Luffy, Kid, Yamato, they fight against you every single time. If you do it in a way where you're kind of like a friendship wise or just a deal where like it's not in a bad situation for them.
But even like, so in this iteration of the Rock's crew, I would be saying that he's not going against them. Like maybe he might have coerced them or he might have just convinced them to join. I still think he was strong. That he's weak is something that's just like outside the bounds of logic. But if you're giving them an avenue to fulfill the will that is the basis of their conquerors. So like if you're saying to Whitebeard, like, hey, I'm going to become king of the world. And once I'm king of the world, Sphinx Island's going to be good. Like, no problems. You get to raise your family. You get to do whatever you want. No one's going to bother you. Big Mom, once I'm king of the world, you can create your utopia kingdom. You can, Kaido, once I'm king of the world, you can go fight whoever you want. I don't care. If he's not getting in the way of those things, they're not clashing.
Listen, I seen Kaido mention Joy Boy. He left God Valley for a reason. It might have been because the person he thought was Joy Boy wasn't Joy Boy because he lost.
So
or
if people want to, in that battle, It could be in that battle, because we see a lot of times in One Piece, true intentions are revealed during battle. Maybe Rox finally let it slip that he wasn't going to actually do all these things, that he'd been lying to them.
Again, that goes against everything that a conqueror is, and that just doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry, red hair.
But that does add to the Blackbeard parallel, though, if that is the case.
Doesn't, because Blackbeard don't got no conquerors on his squad.
No, I'm saying the manipulator, like the liar type stuff.
Even if so, is it easy to manipulate a conqueror?
I guess maybe manipulate is not the correct term, but I don't think he necessarily conquered them.
No.
Also, how strong does this guy have to be to conquer all the, that's how did he ever possibly lose? There's a point at which taking all these things just at face value means he's basically One Punch Man.
But this is what we've been trying to tell people, bro. It's there's something that happened at God Valley that we do not know of, because all the evidence points that whatever happened does not make sense. And when it gets revealed, we'll find out. But till then, this is when we look at Roger, he was able to clash with Prime Whitebeard on his, basically he was going to die within the next couple months. He couldn't, they had to fight for 3 days. He had to avoid Big Mom because he didn't want to create extra stress on his body. And if you guys want to go by anime, he was in his cabin and he fell to the floor before he even started his journey. So it's Roger was also a different beast. He wasn't the Roger that we've seen, bro. He was way greater than we actually believe. And I think that does speak to Rox as well. So I don't know. I think that we're just going to have to all agree to disagree until it's shown. But that's my stance, man.
Yeah, I feel.
Yeah.
All right. I won't take up any more of your time, guys. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you right here. Appreciate you, man.
Shanked them.
I like the thoughts.
I'm working on that ace piece, bro. I'm going to hit you up.
Yo, you better. That shit was so serious. That stuff was fire.
Yeah.
I got you, bro. I got you.
Peace out.
All right, peace.
All right, we did get another super chat. I don't know if you want to read it real quick.
Yeah, we'll read it after. Marvel, take two more phone calls. Hey, what's going on? Thank you for calling. My name is Larry. Who are you and how are you?
Yo, what up? It's Matt MGK here. Just Matt.
Hey, what's up, Matt?
What's up, man?
Thank you for calling, man.
Here to say, Buggy Gang.
Buggy Gang.
Buggy Gang all the way.
All day, every day.
Yeah, no, for sure. Kev knows what's up with Usopp. He's for sure getting Conqueror's Haki.
Buggy
That's
and Usopp,
no
yeah.
question. And I'm here mainly to just baby rage about Blackbeard and call you not a real Piece fan, Larry.
Wait,
go off, bro. Do you think?
go ahead, bro. I'll just listen.
No, I want you to baby rage at me back. Come on, man. Blackbeard? Unquestionably, no doubt in my mind, I have the vision, the power vision, no question, highest durability of the verse, not even close. No, hold up, I know what you're going to say. Not because he's strong. He doesn't have to be in your top 100. But because of hacks and whatever stuff Blackbeard's going on, maybe it's devil fruit, maybe it's his weird biology or whatever's going on there. That's all I'm saying. His durability is bonkers levels. He can take any hit, and Luffy's going to have to get creative when he defeats him. It's not going to just be a case where, he can conquer Koda's fist and punch him in the face like you said last week. It's not going to be like that. He's going to have to get creative with it. Now, I see the chat now. You guys don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're on about.
So Matt, you say your name was Matt, right?
Yeah.
All right, Matt, do you think that Blackbeard can just take Gamma Knife to the chest and be okay to fight afterwards?
Yes.
No further comment.
Listen, man.
No further comment.
Listen, I love Blackbeard, bro.
Like,
You can't be
going on there.
saying he got top 1 durability in the verse, bro. We just saw what Kaido was doing out here. We saw what it took to even just ring Big Mom out. you can't be saying Blackbeard has top tier or top 1 durability, man. We got people fighting for days out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to see something from him first before you start giving that specific kind of stamp.
Nah, it's not real durability, though. It's not real durability.
So what are you saying?
It's his hex. It's his devil fruit, or it's his biology. Like, it's not real shit.
Is that what you're saying?
Language, I apologize.
Plot hawks? Is that what it is? Like, I don't get what you mean by it's not real durability. What is the durability then? What is making it top 1 in the verse to you?
I don't know. That I can't speak to. I just know I can see
just
the
has
vision.
the gut feel. He has the gut feeling about Blackbeard's gut feelings.
The only good thing is
I've got that gut feeling.
I don't know when do you think he got it? He got it like pre-time sick or post-time sick? Because
I think it's probably the Yami. I think it's the devil fruit.
Because the reason why I'm saying this, if you're saying it's the Yami, then I guess that answers the question, because we definitely saw Blackbeard in fear for his life as soon as Whitebeard started attacking him, where he said, guys, it went from a one-on-one to nah, I'm going to die. Crew start attacking Whitebeard. Like, Blackbeard feared for his life there, because if he was ultimately believed he could take that, he would have just, took what Whitebeard was giving him, and then because Whitebeard was also literally on his deathbed. Like, there's moments until this dude was dying.
He died 2 chapters later.
Yeah. So Whitebeard's literally at his weakest. Yeah. Blackbeard in that state was scared for his life to call his crew just to help him attack Whitebeard from the attack.
We've seen Blackbeard writhe out in pain on several occasions.
Yeah,
durability that's not the thing you hang your hat on for Blackbeard.
It's not.
It's not speed, it's not observation, it's not that.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's Hawks. And it's not durability Hawks. He's able to survive crazy stuff, sure. But it's not like we've seen more impressive durability from other high tier.
Okay, maybe it's not durability. Maybe I'm using the wrong word there. I don't do the power scaling thing, so I don't know all your fancy terms. But all I'm saying is that he can take a hit, and he can take a hit like no one we've seen before, and it's gonna be weird. Luffy's not gonna be able to just punch him in the face. He's gonna have to get creative with it.
Matt, I guarantee you Luffy wins the fight by punching Blackbeard in the face really hard. I can almost guarantee you that. I can almost guarantee that.
And the only way I say the creativity where Luffy would have to get to hit him is because he's going to be using 2 abilities, maybe even 3, to try to stop Luffy from hitting him.
No, but even then, Blackbeard's ability is to stop Luffy from being creative with his ability. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a part of it. He's literally going to have to punch him hard enough in the face with willpower attached to it.
Yeah.
And that's going to be what wins the day.
Yeah.
I just had an idea that's like awful, but also kind of awesome. I don't know how I feel about it fully, but like, so Luffy is essentially, the drum's liberation. That's Luffy's whole deal. And Blackbeard, coincidentally, has a pretty massive bulge in his stomach, right? Pretty massive.
Stomach.
And I'm gonna say Blackbeard could probably do this, and it would sound like a drum. I feel like that's what Luffy's gonna do. It's not gonna be hit in the face; it's gonna be hit in the stomach, just like in Impel Down. I think that'd be kind of cool. I don't know why. I just had a thought.
Think he's gonna beat the Blackbeard drum?
Beat the drum or whatever.
Okay. He's gonna beat the drums of liberation. He's gonna put liberation into Blackbeard. I see it. I see the vision.
And Blackbeard's main move is liberation.
Yeah. I see it.
It's a false liberation.
Kim knows what he's talking about. Sure. He never misses.
Well, thank you. You're welcome at the dog pound anytime.
Right, we appreciate the call, Matt.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta say, Sid's right.
Wow.
Wait, what happened?
On the rocks thing, Sid's right. Not that I believe it, but I think there's a possibility. Sid's right.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, Matt,
you got it, Sid.
Matt, you like fruits or no? You eat fruits?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, just go grab a banana, bro. Go grab a banana, bro. Your potassium's low.
Nah, you can't be saying that after the calls you just got in. You cannot be calling that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Enjoy the rest of your night, bro.
Good to hear.
It's probably morning for him. He sounds
morning.
like Australia.
Or morning, whichever.
Midday. Yeah, I don't sleep.
Like Blackbeard.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. All right, bro. Have a good one.
Yeah, good to hear from you. Have a good
Yeah,
one.
peace.
Peace. Yeah, next call is gonna have to be a quick one, guys. We have to do super chats really quick. So, sorry. Hey, this is Larry from that One Piece Talk. Who are you and how are you?
Hi, my name's SFDT. How y'all doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for calling. What's up with you?
And so I wanted to piggyback on Shanked a little bit because I had kind of a similar idea. I know you guys are probably getting tired of talking about this subject, but I had to piggyback a bit. I don't think Rocks could manipulate them in a way by using their past or any sad memories or anything. I kind of feel like he might be a sort of a more powerful imposition version of Nico Robin. Like he has information about the Void Century or Poneglyph or something that just makes people, or that made his crew want to follow him. Because at that time, maybe that information was really scarce. You know what I mean? Because that was probably, way back in the day where people weren't really probably looking that hard. Maybe Rocks was probably one of the first that looked for it, truly.
I actually like that.
That's pretty interesting.
That idea is really interesting, and I'll tell you why. Because of what Rayleigh said to Robin at 𝗬𝗲𝗄𝐻 Archipelago. He said, I can give you the answer, but you might come out with a different answer than what we did. And just giving Big Mom and Kaido and Whitebeard, like there has to be a reason besides him being stronger than them to be able to follow him. So if he did have knowledge, me and Par theory banged for like I don't know how many minutes about how he could have been a celestial dragon to a point too, and he probably knows what the One Piece was, said what it was, and then these three individuals took what he said and came up with a different answer for the world. And that's probably why Kaido does what he does. Whitebeard wanted a family, and Big Mom wanted to have all the races combined together. So it's
right.
everything Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So everything they actually wanted to do, like Kaido, Whitebeard, and Big Mom, it wasn't actually like bad things that their goals were. Like their goals were kind of wholesome. You could probably question Kaido's to a degree, but overall they were all wholesome. It was just that was their answers for the world to live in.
So it's funny that you say it this way, that he could have been like a Nico Robin kind of figure of his time. And we were talking in the chat and in the poll about who the parallel for Rocks actually is in this era, right? And everybody was naming pirates and stuff, but somebody who comes up a lot is Dragon. So if he was this poneglyph seeker or reader in that light, I could definitely see Dragon being the actual parallel for Rocks. But you know what I mean?
See that in a way. There's even been wild theories about him being the son of Dragon. Like there are crazy theories, crazier than Power Vision theories, like crazy theories. But I just feel like there's a way, maybe like, because I feel like Conqueror's Haki is something you could maybe even really gain. Like I think the main way is by having something that you're really trying to go for, something that you're willing to die for. I don't really think you really need strength for it. I think it's just a motivation higher than anything else. And I think trying to take over the world is probably the craziest motivation there is. So that may be how he got it, and maybe a way he has somewhat of a crutch over them, maybe. But I feel like they probably could have jumped him and took him down. You know what I'm saying? Him by himself. Yeah. Like, I think the three of them probably could have beat him pretty readily. But they had a reason to follow him.
Yeah. I mean, again, there's just a lot of vagueness. We just need to see more. That's all I ask. Is everybody keep an open mind until we see more about Rocks? And I'm willing to accept almost any Rocks theory at this point because we just don't have much information on him. But SD, we do got to wrap calls so we can read some of these super chats before we end the show. But thank you so much for calling. Please call again.
Thank you guys for hearing me out. It was perfect. Thank you guys.
Yeah, great.
That was a great theory.
Yeah. Have a good one. Thanks for calling. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that's going to be the last call today. We do have to read super chats before we wrap up, but thank you, everybody. We did get a $5 super chat from Black Jesus. It says, dang, Larry went gear. 5 questions. Do you guys think we will get Luffy versus Shanks in the end? And if so, how do you think we get there?
I already shared my piece on this before. We don't have much time, but I believe that Luffy and Shanks are going to fight. Like, Luffy trying to reach One Piece, and Shanks is going to show him what it takes to be Pirate King, because Shanks experienced and saw Roger's true strength in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Shanks is going to show him what it takes to become Pirate King and what it means that way. So that's my big thought on that.
Kev, real quick.
He might even think of trying to make Luffy even stronger than Roger, because Shanks, seeing Roger as a kid, probably idolized him like crazily, you know what I mean? So maybe if he sees Luffy as like somewhat even equal to Roger, or maybe even better, that'd be crazy. I don't know if they're gonna fight like for real, but it'll be interesting.
I subscribe to the Davy Back theory. I actually am putting out a theory soon. It is on Cross Guild hosting Luffy versus Shanks, the Davy Back fight. But tune in for that one. We got another $2 super chat from Black Jesus. It says, Luffy is a conqueror and he's tricked all the time. Yeah, I mean, conquerors get tricked sometimes, y'all.
But that's also because Luffy, Oda even says it. Luffy's an idiot, you know?
All pirates are idiots, low-key. We got some super chats from last week that we were not able to read off, so I'm trying to read them now. We got $2 from Mike Super. It says, A7, par be right, though. Another $2 from Mixter Rubik's. It says, Kid and Killer coming back as the Killed Pirates. Another $2 from James Hudson. Larry, this is why chat bullies you. #Buggy Gang. Another 5 from Flame C. JT is the real life Usopp. We got another 5 from Terrence Matthews. It won't let me call in. I've been trying for weeks now. I haven't been able to talk to y'all. Sorry, Terrence. Just keep trying. We're gonna do more call-only episodes in the future. But that's all the supers. So Larry, we got more. Gosh damn it. We got 2 more? Oh, I didn't see them coming. Oh, sorry, y'all. 1 second. Is it Terrence again?
Yeah.
Jesus.
You want to just read off my phone?
No, I got him. It says, $5 from Terrence Matthews. How many times have we seen Bumbeard screaming, "Oh, it hurts"? Blackbeard takes damage, bro. And another 5 from Samuel Shaw. I think it's Aussie dollars. It says, Larry had Blackbeard at 19, so just to clarify which is a W, just wanted to get your thoughts on Garp surviving for the 3-generation reunion. Garp dead, predictable. I think Garp passes, personally.
I agree.
I do not know.
Same. I can see where he dies for the story-wise, like the whole beef between Blackbeard and Luffy increases, but I don't fully see yet Oda killing off Garp.
Yeah.
I can see why.
But in particular, Kev, thank you so much for being here with us. Everybody, thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the memberships. Thank you for trying to call. Again, if you're new to the show, anytime you try to call, there's a bunch of other people trying to call as well, and you might not get through. So thank you for staying online. Thank you for trying over and over again. But I just wanted to say thank you again, Kev, just for joining us today, man.
It was a pleasure, man. I've watched you guys for like multiple months at this point, so actually chopping it up, talking about One Piece, it was fun.
Yeah. So please tell everybody where they can find you. Let everybody know what's going on, and then.
So we got a huge stream on Wednesday talking about one of the best characters in One Piece, and you guys know because he started off the stream. Buggy, the Buggy Bash Wednesday. Some of your favorite One Piece creators all going to be there. You guys are all welcome to join in as well if you want.
Damn, what time, bro?
No, it's going to be long, so you're welcome to join anytime.
All right.
But yeah, check me out. The @ the thing, but if some gracious mod would send a link, that'd be awesome.
Oh, they send a number.
Okay, awesome.
Our mods are like that, bro.
Yeah, we have the links to Kev's everything that I could find also in the video description below. But thank you, man.
Not a problem, man. It was awesome.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you so much again. But this is the end of the show. Marv's kicking us out. So, my name is Larry.
Lawrence.
Lionel.
Sam.
And this is that One Piece Talk. Ciao.